champions, we laugh a lot, we rap a lot. I'm at Sabia, Indian, again, I'm telling them that Collinsville is where it's at. So when we on the field of court, they better be aware of that. They scared of that. Of course, look at the ceiling. What up, Mr. Floyd? Yeah, Collinsville. And yes, I'm glad to say that I'm a Kahok. I'm about to graduate. Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
White and purple, yeah, I know you see it. You see the chaos and you tell yourself you wanna be it. I go to CHS, so I am a champ. I ran this game so long, I'm starting to get a stomach cramp. Class of 1 and 2, but we're number 1. Shout out to all my juniors, yeah, you know we get it done. White and purple, you already know. It's little easy peasy and that boy lay low.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
I'm about my white and purple, Scarface and DJ Screw. We on the peak of the mountain, best at what we do. Yeah, we the champs, homie, but we ain't selling shoes. These boys bleeding purple, call us the chief and crew. They don't gotta do it big, cause I don't play with sports. I play my cards right. Now we're good report. When Dub 12 comes, it's time to roll off. I'm in the back cause everybody rolling with me, K-Hawks.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Look, all the freshmen, boys,
High school champions.
yeah, they know what it is.
All around my town, everything is
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
we shut it down for the school and the sports team.
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
And a very good evening, everyone, as we welcome you to Kahok Stadium here in Collinsville on the campus of Collinsville High School as we get you set for week number 8 of the high school football season. I am Todd Duke, glad that you're with us here on the Kahok Sports Network. It's homecoming, and your Collinsville Kahawks return home after a couple of weeks away and will host the Belleville East Lancers here on homecoming night. Again, my name's Todd Duke. Dr. Chris McCluskey will be along in just a little while as we welcome you into the Cullip Jennings Florist pregame show. Cullip Jennings Florist is a staple in the Collinsville area, has been for generations. Cullip Jennings Florist is located at 517 West Clay Street. You can stop in for weekly specials. This week's specials, a dozen daisies in a stylish vase for $20. Not a bad deal there. Also, they're getting ready for Thanksgiving. Yes, homecoming is tomorrow, but I'm assuming everybody has their homecoming flowers and corsages by now. But if not, you can get those at Cullip Jennings Florist as well. And then next on the list is Thanksgiving. You can get your Thanksgiving centerpieces for your dining room tables put together in a beautiful arrangement, all by the fine folks at Cullip Jennings Florist. Give them a call, 344-0404, or online at cullipjennings.com. Collinsville comes into this game with a record of 2-5 as the Belleville East Lancers come to town, having only won one game this year, so they are 1-6. Both teams are 1-3 in conference play. Collinsville, of course, coached by first-year head coach Mike Popovich. Christopher Stevens is in his fourth year as the man in charge of the football program at Belleville East, and thus far he is 10-25. He qualified for the playoffs in his first year, 2015, when the team went 6-4. They lost the first playoff game that they played in, and then went 1-8 the following year, and then 2-7 last year, and now, as I mentioned, 1-6 this year. And he took over, of course, for Tim Funk. 10-3 under Tim Funk in 2010 was the team's best year. 52 years they've been playing football at Belleville East High School. They have 301 wins, 205 losses, and 4 ties in that time. Collinsville, of course, coming off of that loss against Belleville West last week, 64-14. The Lancers, they came off of a loss as well against Edwardsville at home, 54-20, and I believe that was their senior night at Belleville East last week. Their lone win came against the O'Fallon Panthers, 28-21. That was back on week 5 on the 21st of September. And Collinsville, of course, has that in common with the Lancers. They beat O'Fallon back on the 14th of September, just the week before, 38-28. And Collinsville's other win was week number 2 at Triad, 46-27. So both of these teams not going to be in the playoffs this year. That has already been determined, so nothing but pride on the line for these two teams as they face off tonight here in Collinsville. Had a chance a little while ago to catch up with Collinsville head coach Mike Popovich. We will pass along that conversation to you next as the Cullip Jennings Florist pregame show continues here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Cullip Jennings Florist, a Collinsville original since 1939. Cullip Jennings Florist has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all design styles from traditional to trend-setting. Cullip Jennings Florist is, of course, your place for beautiful flowers suitable for any occasion. From anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Cullip Jennings Florist is there for any of life's major moments. Cullip Jennings Florist, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online, cullipjennings.com.
And once again, we welcome you back into the Cullip Jennings Florist pregame show here on the Kahok Sports Network as we get you set for week number 8 of the high school football season, homecoming night for the Collinsville Kahawks as they return home after a couple of games on the road and face the Belleville East Lancers this evening. Joining us now on the Cullip Jennings Florist pregame show is Collinsville head coach Mike Popovich. Coach, you know, I've been talking to you a lot this year, but I haven't really asked any questions to get to know you, to get the watchers, the viewers, the listeners to get to know you better. So I had a little fun with Abby Hanger last night. So we're gonna do this again with you. So I'm gonna throw a couple of things at you and just give me a quick answer as best you can. We know you're a football coach. So baseball or hockey?
Hockey.
Rock and roll or country?
Ooh, rap.
I got country out of Abby Hanger, just so you know that, right? Rap. All right, my 14-year-old daughter and you would get along pretty well then, wouldn't we?
Absolutely. You know what? I enjoy everything. I really do. It just depends on what kind of mood I'm in. So, I don't know, probably rock and roll over country.
All right, if you were not a high school football coach or a teacher, you would be?
A court reporter.
Why?
I type very well. It is a thing that a lot of people do not know about me. I almost went to college for that. My aunt owned a court reporting business in St. Louis. They make a lot of money. But the idea of me sitting behind a desk the entire day is not good. So I don't know. I just didn't do it.
Yeah, I couldn't see you sitting behind a desk at all. All right, movie-wise, comedy, drama?
Comedy.
Star Wars, Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Thank you very much. I like you already. All right, well, enough with that. Let's talk a little bit of football. Let's go back to last week, 64-14 loss to a very good Belleville West team. We knew that going in. What I didn't expect was all the passing, 27 for 38, 337 yards and 5 touchdowns. I did not expect to see all the aerial that we saw from the Maroons. Yeah,
they're a physical team, and I think when you're going to be in the season like they do. I mean, they're that perennial team that's always going to be playing week 10. I think they could play week 11, maybe even week 12 this year. That's how physical they are. It all depends on the draw and if they stay healthy. But I think as you know that you want to go ahead and shore up some other areas. And they kind of came in, and I think they felt like they needed to throw the ball a little bit more. I mean, I like to believe that we did some things defensively too to force them to throw. I mean, we definitely loaded up the box and stuff like that. And I think they had 91 yards on the ground. I think what it was. Maybe it was more than that. But they have a lot of weapons, and they used them last week. And but Todd, I thought the crazy thing is had we not put them in, given them a short field most of the night, I thought defensively we kept the ball in front of us, which has been a major problem over the 3 weeks prior, really 2 weeks prior. So we kept the ball in front of us a little bit better last week, and I felt like we tackled better. And I think that we're still making improvements in all those areas, obviously. But yeah, I mean, the kid can spin it. He can, and he doesn't get a lot of credit. And obviously the running back's a heck of a ball player. But I think that. They're talented. They're good.
31 points in the first quarter. That really, really hurt because you guys kind of fixed things after that, and only a couple of touchdowns in the third, couple in the fourth, and you kind of figured things out after that. Man, if that 31 points would have been held to 7, I don't know if you guys would have came back and won, but the score would have looked better.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking for them to pull out the 35-point end zones towards the end of the game. They didn't have those out. I mean. 31 points in the first quarter, and like I said, offensively, we put ourselves in a bind. I mean, we had problems picking up first downs. We had too many pre-snap penalties, and we had a couple just miscommunications with our quarterback and our receivers, and all correctable things. But it's tough week 7 to experience those. But I mean, that's kind of where we're at as a program. And we went into that game knowing kind of what to expect from them, and we picked out some positives for sure. And I mean, a lot of our issues, Todd, stem from the weight room. Period. I mean, it has nothing to do with technique up front, our O-line. We've watched the film. I mean, we looked for false steps. We didn't see any, hand placement, leverage, everything that we looked for from them, pad level. They did. But Belleville West is physically stronger than us right now, and it's not close. So our goal is to bridge the gap. And unfortunately for those seniors right now, you can't get them stronger in this short of time. I mean, it takes time. But I think the younger kids have really realized that and bought into what it is that we're trying to do in the weight room.
All right, later in the game, you set up the entire offensive line about 10 yards to the right of the center. First of all, I got to know, what do you call that? Because you guys always have these crazy names for all these plays. What do you call that, and why did you employ it?
Well, it's a polecat formation, and it's something that's it's been around. I mean, you've seen some teams run it. SHG ran it in the early 2000s. Rochester runs a version of it. You'll see it most of the time. If you see it, you see the swinging gate. You see it on extra points. If a team feels like they have a numbers advantage somewhere, they'll do it. And we're fortunate that Eastside kind of came out and looked the week before against Belleville West on a kick on a PAT. And we saw some things we liked, and I think it looks like you're doing something completely different, but in all reality, we weren't. We still ran our same pass game concepts. We still ran our run concepts with the O-line where they were at. We blocked it exactly the same. We've just got a Division I long snapper in Drew Doyle who can get the ball back there. And it's we're not giving a cadence, so it throws Belleville West off as far as being able to get off the ball and getting used to hearing what Chris is saying, because it's all silent count on that. And Drew gets it back there and gave Chris the opportunity to see some different things. And after the first drive, I mean, and you always want to do this because you have no idea how they're going to line up. That's the bad thing about doing it. You go in and you're flying blind as to how they're going to line up. But we went ahead, and after that first drive, we got on the sidelines and we went ahead and said, okay, this is what they're going to do. This is how we need to adjust. And we came out and ripped off a couple big plays. And, the problem is we had another pre-snap penalty. We didn't have enough men on the line of scrimmage on Drew Doyle's big reception. And then the very next play, we flip it out to Jake Holt. And Jake, I don't know, probably picked up 20, 25 yards off that and looked good doing it. Probably could have came back to it a little bit, but it gives teams something else to think about. It gives them, something else that they need to prepare for. And it's just where we're at as a program as far as we're looking for anything that we can that obviously stays in with of who we are, what we try and do, but if it gives us an advantage, I mean, it's no different than basketball. If you've got a 6'8" kid on the block that they can't stop, what are you going to do? You're going to clear out. You're not going to continue to run a motion offense and with the possibility that you're not going to get them the ball. So we wanted to do some different things. We felt like instead of playing them 11 on 11, maybe we could play them 1-on-1 in some areas. So yeah, it's polecat. As I'm here, you'll see it come out every once in a while, and it's a pain in the butt. And defensive coordinators have to prepare for it. They have to waste time on it. That's the other big thing. I mean, when you see something like that, Belleville East guarantee they had to spend at least 5 to 10 minutes every day this week preparing for that, just in case it comes out.
All right, I want to talk about Jay Colton. I call his name all the time, obviously, because he's on offense. And being the play-by-play guy, when the defense is on the field, I'm still calling out offensive guys. It's just for the other team. But he always comes to mind. I say his name every once in a while on defense, and he happens to be your team leader in tackles this year. So talk to me about the importance of number 4.
Yeah, and usually you don't want that out of your safety. And that's usually not a good thing if your safety is leading the team in tackles. But at the same time, he's a ball player. I mean, he is a kid that I knew him before I got this job. I was running camps. I ran Sunday night camps over in Mascoutah, and his dad Brett would drive him over there, and he would work out with me on Sunday with Mascoutah kids. And you saw him, and he was very raw, and but I knew how hard he worked. Since February, this kid just didn't miss. Todd, he's just here. He is a football player through and through. He brings it every play on both sides of the ball. The kids feed off him. He's a quiet leader. And, boy, he can lay the hammer. I mean, and then another kid that has really bought into the weight room, added quite a bit of muscle, and he's only going to get better. That's the scary thing. And I believe he's a Division II football player at the worst, especially if he increases his speed, which I know he will. He's hard-nosed. He's that old-school kid that you don't see very often, and never frustrated. I mean, if he's frustrated, he never shows it. But there's never any negative energy out of the kid. Man, I love that kid. He's the type of kid you want to be in a foxhole with. I mean, because you know that he's gonna fight till he doesn't have anything left in the tank. So he's just an integral part of our program for sure.
All right, you have Belleville East homecoming tonight. This is a very winnable game for you and the Kahoks. So how do you accomplish that?
You can't go ahead and make the silly mistakes that have kind of plagued us over the last 3 weeks. And we know where the competition level's been at the last few weeks. But with that being said, this whole week we've talked about the fact that Belleville East is not a slouch. We understand where their record is, but at the same time, anybody who knows anything about our conference knows that you're playing playoff teams week in, week out. Just because you're on the wrong end of that does not. You can't really put this. I got coaches coming in here being loud. Sorry about that, Todd. You can't really fixate too much on the record. Their quarterback can spin it. He can play. And I'll make this statement, and I know we've played some great quarterbacks, great all-around quarterbacks. I would put this kid throwing the ball against anybody we've gone against. And he's got weapons, and they have been dangerously close to really taking that next step as a program. We expect a challenge tonight, and we're going to have to play well to beat them. It can't be one of those when we're just not in a position where we're in Edwardsville or a Belleville West or an East Side where we might not play our best game and we still can win. Because we have talent, because we have, we're just stronger than everybody else. So we've got to play well. We've got to take care of the football. These conditions, and it is what it is. They have to play in them too. But do the little things right for sure.
Thanks for the visit, Coach. Happy homecoming.
Thank you very much, Todd. Appreciate it.
That is your head coach, Mike Popovich, of your Kahok football team. We'll take a break here on the Collinsville Forest pregame show. When we come back, we'll throw some names and numbers your way. All that and more coming up on the Kahok Sports Network.
Cullinsville Jennings Florist, a Collinsville original since 1939. Cullinsville Jennings Florist has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all design styles from traditional to trend-setting. Cullinsville Jennings Florist is, of course, your place for beautiful flowers suitable for any occasion. From anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Cullinsville Jennings Florist is there for any of life's major moments. Cullinsville Jennings Florist, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online, cullinsvillejennings.com.
And we welcome you back into the Cullinsville Jennings Florist pregame show here on the Kahok Sports Network. I am Todd Duke. Dr. Chris McCluskey will be along soon as we get you ready for Collinsville week number 8 football action. Homecoming night as they take on the Belleville East Lancers. Collinsville, of course, looking for 3 wins in the same season for the first time since 2011. They beat Alton and Belleville West in back-to-back games that year on the 9th of September, then on the 16th of September. Then they won at Belleville East on the 14th of October, 32-20. Now, Collinsville, you might say they did win 3 in one season in 2015. Well, yeah, they did, but one of those was a 2-0 forfeit versus East St. Louis because East St. Louis was going through that teacher's strike at the time. So I'm talking about on the field, winning 3 games in one season. It's been since 2011, so Collinsville trying to accomplish that here tonight. Of course, if they can't do it tonight, they'll have one more week left, as next week Edwardsville will be in town to finish out the 2018 football season. Of course, there is history between these two teams being in the Southwestern Conference together for so long, and Collinsville has not fared that well against the Lancers. 4 wins, 17 losses. Last year, Collinsville lost 45-35. Chris Chai went 11 for 26 with 224 yards and 3 touchdowns and 1 interception in that game. Jake Holton actually had a touchdown pass in that game, a 25-yarder to Malcolm Burns. Burns caught 3 other passes that day to give him 4 and 129 yards and 3 touchdowns on the day as well. Keenan Waller, who is the quarterback for these Belleville East Lancers, he was the quarterback last year as well. He went 15 of 29 for 182 yards and a couple of touchdowns along with 1 interception. The last win for Collinsville over Belleville East 2 years ago, 35-28 on senior night during the 2016 season. So it's been a couple of years. Like to change that here tonight and pick up that 3rd win of the season and have a chance at the 4th win going into next week against Edwardsville. Let's take a look at some of your stats for the year. We'll begin with the quarterbacks for Collinsville. Chris Chai is the quarterback for your Kahawks. He has completed 78 passes out of 143 attempts on the year, 967 yards, so close to 1,000 yards. He's thrown 9 touchdown passes this year to 3 interceptions, and he has a quarterback rating right now of 94.9. On the opposite side, Keenan Waller will be, as Coach Popovich calls it, slinging it tonight. He has completed 78 passes as well, just like Chris Chai. Chai, 143 times he's thrown the ball. Well, guess what? Keenan Waller has thrown the ball 144 times. Chris Chai, we told you, had 967 yards. Well, Keenan Waller has 950. 7 touchdowns go along with 2 interceptions, so 2 fewer touchdown passes than Chris Chai and 1 less interception. And Keenan Waller's quarterback rating is a 92.4. That's a look at your 2 starting quarterbacks. We'll take a final time out here on the Cullip Jennings Flores pregame show. When we come back, Dr. Chris McCluskey will be in the booth with us, and we'll get this game going. All that and more coming up on the Kahok Sports Network.
Cullip Jennings Florist, a Collinsville original since 1939. Cullip Jennings Florist has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all design styles from traditional to trend-setting. Cullip Jennings Florist is, of course, your place for beautiful flowers suitable for any occasion. From anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Cullip Jennings Florist is there for any of life's major moments. Cullip Jennings Florist, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online, cullipjennings.com.
I'm my team's #1 fan. I've never been #1 at anything until I put these babies on. Do I know where I'm going? Absolutely. We're going to the playoffs.
Allstate guarantees your rates won't go up just because of an accident, starting the day you sign up.
So get accident forgiveness from Allstate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
It's good to be in good hands.
Get protection plus unique extras. Call me, Mike Cluck with Allstate, for a quote today.
Cullip Jennings Florist, a Collinsville original since 1939. Cullip Jennings Florist has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all design styles from traditional to trend-setting. Cullip Jennings Florist is, of course, your place for beautiful flowers suitable for any occasion. From anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Cullip Jennings Florist is there for any of life's major moments. Cullip Jennings Florist, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online, cullipjennings.com.
And once again, we welcome you back into the broadcast booth here at Kahok Stadium. I am Todd Duke alongside Dr. Chris McCluskey as we get you set for this game between Collinsville and Belleville East. Collinsville 2-5. The Lancers are 1-6. Dr. McCluskey, welcome once again. Homecoming night, hey?
Yeah, thanks for having us, Todd. It's
sure.
A lot of exciting things happening with this program, and nobody expected us to come out and go undefeated. But I love what Coach Popovich is doing with this program. It starts with culture, and he's certainly established a brand new culture here in Collinsville.
Yes, he has. Collinsville won the coin toss. They have been winning a lot of coin tosses lately, and each and every time they have deferred. So Collinsville will kick off to Belleville East, and actually this time they deferred and decided to take the ball in the second half. So I like that move. I liked it because I think it gives you an opportunity to assess where you are at halftime, whether you're up by a few, down by a few. Now you have the opportunity to make the adjustments, get the ball first.
I agree 100%. And, another thing from a momentum standpoint, if you can come up with a defensive stand right out of the gates, it really inspires the offense to come out and work hard and get some first downs.
Sure does. And unfortunately, Trey Simpson hurt himself in last night's soccer game, so he is not going to be kicking in this game today. We have Grant Fisher, who is out there ready to kick off. Jalen Ford and Bruce Harris are back deep for the Lancers as that ball is going to go out of bounds, and out comes the first flag of the game, and the Belleville East Lancers will have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line. Who's our camera person there, Dr. Chris?
So we've got Miss Camden McCluskey running the optics for you tonight. So, she's just getting her career started in broadcast journalism here at KahokSports.com.
All right. Belleville East comes out, and if I am not mistaken, the backup quarterback, Lucas Maui, is out there running the program. So I did not hear anything about Keenan Waller being hurt, but Maui comes into the game. We'll tell you some stats on him in a minute. 6'2", 169-pound sophomore quarterback is Lucas Maui. He stands in shotgun. He has 3 wide receivers on the far side. The handoff is going to go around the left side, and that is Mikey Foster, who takes the ball upfield and gets about 8 yards up to the Belleville East Lancers 44-yard line. And that's the way this one gets started. Lucas Maui, the sophomore, 31 of 62 on the season, 374 yards. He has 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions on the year, and his quarterback rating is 75.4%. So I guess we're going to see Lucas Maui in there instead of Keenan Waller, as Maui takes his second snap, throws over to the far side, completes the pass over there, and gives his team a first down. I believe that was Jaden Harris-Hempel who caught that pass.
This is good one-on-one coverage on the outside. Nice tackle by our cornerback. Looks like Collinsville's giving us a 3 linebacker look, which I really like, given some of the struggles at the inside linebacker position this year. So maybe we can load up the box and force these guys to throw the football.
I believe that was Kevon Gaines, number 88, who caught that ball over on the far side. So a couple of underclassmen coming into this game and making some plays early here. Here's a man in motion, and that man does not get the handoff as Maui keeps it. Goes up the middle with the ball, and the Lancers continue to move the ball here in the early going. We're in the first quarter. 10:56 left. We are scoreless as we are just underway. And now 2nd down and 5 for the Lancers.
Yeah, a lot of misdirection out of the backfield for the Lancers on this opening drive.
2 wide receivers on either side of this set. Maui in shotgun once again. Barks out the signals. His lone setback is Mikey Foster. Foster on the year. 16 carries for 45 yards and 1 touchdown. Here is Maui back to pass. He looks, brings it down on the run, throws while he's on the run, and misses his man out of bounds over there on the far side. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 5 here for the Lancers.
Yeah, good penetration in the backfield. I think that was Dante Williams that sprung through the line, forced the quarterback to rush his throw, and wasn't even close to the receiver.
Lucas Maui in there instead of Waller. And now Foster will be headed to the sideline, and the leading rusher for Belleville East, Jeremy Schooler, comes in. 68 attempts on the year, 265 yards and 1 touchdown. Schooler is averaging 3.9 yards per carry this year. Maui has 3 wide receivers set up on the far side, 1 on the near, and he is going to hand the ball off to Schooler. Schooler tries the left side and takes a dive and gets enough by about a yard to move the chains once again, and the Lancers are still on the move now with a fresh set of downs. 10:18 left to play here in this first quarter.
Well, he got around the edge by about 2 inches. That was almost a great play in the backfield. And if our line holds up like they are right now, we're going to make a lot of plays in the backfield. And I think our defense is going to hold up just fine.
Defense being put to the test right off the bat here as this drive started on the Lancers 40-yard line, and they are already past the Kahok 40-yard line. Maui in shotgun again. Man comes into motion and a fumbled snap, but the handoff goes to Schooler up the middle, and Schooler is going to have another first down on a snap that Maui had to pick up off of his shoestring time as well. 9:40 left to play here in this opening quarter with the backup quarterback Lucas Maui moving his team down the field against the starters on defense for Collinsville. Wide receivers split on either side of the formation. One man in the slot on the near side, but Maui bluffs the pass, goes back to pass, and then has his man in the end zone. Touchdown, Johannes Flagger.
Sure did. Ran a nice post route up the middle. Looked like our backside cornerback got hung up, kind of sucked in thinking they were going to throw left, but there is some laundry on the field.
There is, and it's holding against Belleville East, so that play is going to come back.
Well, the Collinsville corner's got to go shake the referee's hand on that one.
Telling you.
Because he got away with one. But hopefully that's a good learning experience and push the Lancers back and see if we can give it another go.
I tell you what, this sophomore Lucas Maui looks very comfortable back there, doesn't he?
Might be a reason he got the nod tonight,
Could
Todd.
be. Well, Waller, he was starting quarterback for the last couple of years, and I would think that he was probably hurt. That's why he's not out there. Waller, 5'8", 191-pound senior. So we'll do it all over again, and it's going to be first down and a long way to go for the Lancers.
Formation.
And another bad snap. This one goes between the legs of Maui, and he gets taken down in the backfield.
There it is. That's Dante. Dante Williams again in the backfield, I believe.
Yes, I believe you are correct. Kind of hard to see the numbers once again, but 8s look like 9s on these uniforms, don't they?
Boy, whoever's lined up against this Dante Williams has got their hands full tonight because he has been in the backfield all day, which is nice because that's going to keep him from running the ball to this edge.
All the way back to the Kahok 43-yard line. The original line of scrimmage all the way up at the Kahok 26. So the Lancers have gone backwards a bunch since they picked up a couple of first downs on this drive. Maui rolls out to his right. He looks, he throws, he has a man open, but well short of any kind of gain there, as that one's going to be stopped at the Kahok 40-yard line after the completion to Jaden Harris Hemphill. He is the second leading receiver on this Lancers ball club with 21 catches, 264 yards, and a couple of touchdowns. He averages 12.6 yards per catch, so Collinsville did a nice job holding him to just 3 yards on that play.
That was a nice tackle by Luke Cuddy back out in space. He was one-on-one. He came in, wrapped up, and brought the receiver down. Very nice play.
Third down and long. 3rd and 24 here for the Lancers, so helped out by a penalty and then a sack. Collinsville may be able to get out of this with no damage done. There's another bad snap. Maui has to bend down, pick this one up, rolls out to his left. He's in trouble. He scrambles, he flips it, and he's got a man open, but that man is going to fall well short of the first down by about 13 yards as that ball is down right around the Kahok 30-yard line, and that's going to bring up 4th down for Belleville East.
Yeah, you love to see the Kahok defenders holding their fists up in the air, right? That's the universal 4th down sign.
Yes.
And for those guys to force these Lancers to a 4th down, really means a lot at this stage in the early parts of the game.
Looks like they're going to go for it. Alex Maxim is their punter. He wears number 90, and he is not out there. Lucas Maui and company will remain in the offensive side of things. Schooler is his lone running back right now. And now we have a flag on the play, and that one is going to be against Johannes Flagger, the wide receiver lined up over here on the near side in front of the Kahok bench. He moved.
Well, that's a costly penalty. You know, that allows Collinsville to go into a little bit different package, allow them to have the ball in space, and then have good pursuit.
I was ready to see number 90 trot off the field for a punt, but nope. Coach Stevens is going to let his offense go for it here on 4th down and 20 to go for a first down. Maui will remain in shotgun. Again, his lone setback is Jeremy Schooler, right over the right-hand shoulder of the sophomore quarterback. Here's the snap. Back to pass is Maui. He looks, he throws right, he throws it deep, and that allows the defense to come back and make a play on the ball. Fortunately for Cameron Sloan, that ball ended up falling incomplete because Cameron turned around, had plenty of time to go up there and bat it down, and then slipped.
Looked like he slipped on the wet turf. That's exactly right. So, hey, we just talked about if we could come out and get a stop on the first series, that's going to motivate and inspire this offense to come out and work hard and gain some first downs on this Lancer defense.
Yeah, Belleville East shot themselves in the foot. They had a touchdown taken off the boards, then a sack, and then they just couldn't gain traction from there. So here is Chris Chai at quarterback for Collinsville. Hands the ball off, a bounce off the outside, and then getting all the way up to the 40-yard line, I believe, was Kyler Williams, and it is Kyler Williams. He gets about 4 on the play after bouncing off a couple of tacklers, and they ended up swarming him over here on this left side right at the very end. Collinsville wasting no time getting that offense back out there. Chai in shotgun will pass. A short pass on the sideline to Ron Woods, and Woods may have enough for a first down. He bowls over number 6, Jalen Ford, right in front of the Kahok bench, and it looks like Collinsville may be about a half a yard short here.
Yeah, I believe they call that a truck. They call that trucking a guy. When you just square up and run square over a guy and knock him on his rear end, that's power running right there.
Neighbors and Kyler Williams are the running backs. Neighbors gets the handoff and barrels forward for about 6 yards, more than enough to pick up the first down, and the Kahawks get their first down on their first drive.
Here's that momentum, and hopefully this is where that great conditioning that Coach Popovich teaches and coaches will come into play.
Another short pass to Woods, and he couldn't hold on to it. He dropped it as Collinsville and their line of scrimmage is in Belleville territory at the East Lancers 49-yard line, and that's going to bring up second down and 10.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of moisture out there. I don't know if it's raining or misting.
I think it's about stopped.
I think that ball is going to be pretty slick.
Oh, yeah,
it's
it will.
Colder than they're used to. Ooh, looked like a false start.
Yeah, too many folks moving. Sloan was coming from the near side here to the far side, and somebody else moved at the same time, so Collinsville will shoot themselves in the foot, but it's not as bad as a holding on a touchdown call, so we'll take it.
Well, I've rarely seen a team get through a whole game without any penalties. So you kind of take them and you learn from them. And 2nd and 15, the way we've been moving the ball, hopefully wouldn't be much of a problem.
And a man comes into motion again. That man does not get the handoff. Instead, it goes to Neighbors. Neighbors has some room, and he's back up past the original line of scrimmage for a gain of about 9 on the play. And that'll put the ball right at the Lancers' 46-yard line. Collinsville with that hurry-up offense ready to go one more time. Snap, handoff, Neighbors up the middle, has a first down, and he's taken down at about the Kahok 36-yard line, or excuse me, the Lancers 36-yard line.
Right, 2nd and 15 is not that big of a deal when you're getting 8 and 9 yards of run, and we're running right up behind our right guard. Who is that? Number 64.
There's the snap, back to pass, and a completion to Jake Holton. Holton runs right up the slot, right along the hash marks, and gets it down to the 26-yard line, and that's going to be close to another first down, maybe about a half a yard short again.
I love this hurry-up offense. We're not even giving Belleville time to get set before we're running plays.
I guarantee you Belleville East will use the timeout here real soon if that doesn't stop. Here is, and I hope it doesn't, Kyler Williams for a minimal gain, but he only needed about a half a yard to get a first down, and it looks like he did. So Collinsville moves the chains again.
Don't be surprised to see Collinsville take a shot here on this play. We've got a slot and a wide out to the right side.
1st and 10 from the 26-yard line. Here comes Sloan in motion from that slot. Instead, the handoff is going to go to Neighbors. He zigs, he zags, and somebody got him on the shoestrings there at the 20-yard line, or he might have been gone to the races.
Sure was. What an athletic play. It looked like his feet came all the way over his head, and he just popped right up and ready to run another play.
There's the snap. Another handoff to Neighbors, and he takes the same route and picks up another first down. Kahawks move the chains once again. And Collinsville moving the ball pretty well here on this first drive. First down and 10. Chai passes over on the far side. This time he hits Malcolm Burns. Burns gets out of one tackle but can't get out of the second one. He's inside the 10-yard line, though, to about the 8-yard line. And it'll be second down for the Kahawks from there. 4:24 left to play here in this first quarter. No score yet. Lancers had a touchdown taken off the boards on a holding call. As Chris Chai in shotgun will now walk over toward the sideline. Get a new signal from his coaching staff. And back at it. Here's the snap. Handoff again goes to Jaden Neighbors. And Neighbors gets back up to the original line of scrimmage, so it'll bring up a 2nd down and 5. I'll give him a couple yards on it. It'll be 3rd down and 5. And Trey Simpson injured in last night's soccer game, so no field goal kicker, so you're going to see Collinsville going for it most of the way in this game. 3rd down and 5. Here is Chris Chai keeping the ball. He barrels forward and does not get enough for a 1st down. Maybe picks up a yard.
Yeah, tried to go up the middle. Looked like if he would have read that and bounced it left and followed the guy he faked it to. But, you know, that's a lot to ask. Hindsight's 20/20. At any rate, we've got a big 4th and 5 coming here, Todd.
4th down and 5. Chai trying to bark some signals, see if he can get the Lancers to jump offside and give him a free 1st down. But that didn't happen at this point. 15 seconds left on the play clock. Chai is back in shotgun, still barking out some signals. And now he's going to come back over toward the sideline. And with about 7 seconds left on the play clock, he's going to have to snap it or call a timeout. And looks like the Kahawks are going to call a timeout.
It's a nice, safe play. You try to pull the defense off sides. If it doesn't work, you kind of see what defense they were, you know, set up in, what kind of look you're going to see, because this is a huge play here at this stage in the game. I mean, worst case, you give Belleville terrible field position. Best case, we come away with some points on the board.
Let's thank Pace Design and Construction in Maryville. Whether you're building a new home, making an addition to the home you currently own, or finally getting around to that remodeling job you've been putting off, Pace Design and Construction in Maryville can help. Pace Design and Construction is a building and remodeling contractor that you can trust. They provide the highest quality. They are dedicated to their customers and are committed to completing your project on time and within budget. Pace Design and Construction in Maryville. Give them a call at 618-407-5466 or online at pacedesignconstruct.com. Kahawks faced with a 4th down and 5 from the 7-yard line of the Lancers. Got to get a 1st down or a touchdown here. Here's the snap. Chai flips it over on the far side to Neighbors. Neighbors has the 1st down and a touchdown.
Great play call by Coach Popovich. Incredible play call. You know, we've been sticking with the same thing all night. Today we fake it, go misdirection, pitch it on the outside, and Jaden Neighbors turns on the afterburners to score 6 for the Kahawks.
Nicely done, Jaden Neighbors. 2:49 left on the clock. And Collinsville, of course, going for 2 with no kicker. Here is Chris Chai, and he gets taken down in the backfield before he can even take 1 step. So the score will remain 6-0 in favor of the Kahawks, and we are going to take our first commercial break, and we'll come back and have the ensuing kickoff in just a moment here on the Kahawks Sports Network.
Agape in Collinsville. Cafe Agape serves up delicious sandwiches, burgers, steaks, pulled pork, and the Collinsville favorite, the steak and onion sandwich. Cafe Agape has weekly lunch and dinner specials with pork steak Wednesdays, meatloaf Thursdays, and fish every Friday. Cafe Agape also offers catering service, and you can get Cafe Agape delivered now through the To-Go delivery app. Cafe Agape is open Monday through Friday from 11 to 7, and they're located at 703 St. Louis Road in Collinsville, or call 345-CAFE. That's 345-2233.
Todd Duke, Dr. Chris McCluskey back with you from Kahok Stadium. Collinsville strikes first, a 7-yard touchdown pitch out to Jaden Neighbors. Neighbors runs it the rest of the way, and Collinsville fails on the 2-point conversion. So the Kahawks lead 6-0 as they are set to kick things off here to the Lancers for the Lancers' second possession, and chewed up a lot of time on the clock there on that drive.
Well, you know, when you keep the ball on the ground and you're chopping away 6, 7, 8 yards of play, you know, time of possession becomes important.
Grant Fisher set to kick things off. Last time it went out of bounds. This time it does too, right in front of the Kahawk bench.
Well, he'd like to have that one back.
Sure would.
You know, sometimes in golf you miss the ball every now and again, and sometimes in football you just don't hit it quite square. But, you know, you hate to give up that field position, but the way our defense is playing, let's give it a go.
That was it didn't even travel 10 yards, as it would be a rule for an onside kick. But I would think the ball went out of bounds, so they still should place it back at the Lancers' 40. It looks like they're going to re-kick.
Yeah. I think the Lancers knew that they would have to take the ball at the 40, so they want another stab at running one back.
Yeah, probably. So let's hope that Grant Fisher, who is listed as a 5'11", 180-pound sophomore wide receiver, can find the leg to get this one down the field and keep it in bounds. But, yeah, Collinsville is going to be penalized, so now the kickoff will come from the 35-yard line instead of the 40. Back deep, Jalen Ford and Bruce Harris ready to receive this kickoff.
You know, one thing I like to see here, Todd, if you look at the Collinsville sideline versus the Lancer sideline, we've seemed to have a heck of a lot more guys just on the roster.
Oh,
so
sure.
It shows some excitement for the program. Kids are energized. And this is going to carry over into years to come.
Oh, yes, that's what you're looking for. That is exactly what you're looking for. Actually, that is Jaden Harris Hemphill who is back deep. But this one's going to go straight out of bounds again. So the Lancers are going to have to take this at the 40-yard line. And we will have the Lancers start their second possession from there. It seems like Fisher is running toward us while he's kicking the ball, and instead of the ball going down the field, it's coming this way. So he might want to make a different approach toward the ball.
We might need to open the windows. We could catch one of these.
Yeah, maybe. They're going to actually place it at the 45-yard line. Or are they? Or do they know where they're going to place the ball?
I'm not sure they've ever seen two kicks that short out of bounds in their career, so they're having a little meeting of the zebra stripes out in the middle of the field, and I think the players are just as interested in how this thing's going to shake out.
Yeah, they would get it at the 40-yard line on a traditional kickoff that goes out of bounds. They're going to call a false start against Collinsville, and they're going to place the ball at midfield. So the original line of scrimmage would have been the 40. Second kickoff would have been the 45. Now they call a false start and put it at the 50. So the Lancers will start 1st and 10 from midfield.
Yeah, this is where you really miss Trey Simpson. A guy like that in a game of this nature could really be a game changer. So our defense is going to have to really step up, play good football tonight.
Lucas Maui is in shotgun once again. He has Jeremy Schooler over his left-hand shoulder. Man goes into motion, and that man gets the handoff. And around the left side is Elijah Nelson, and he did not get much. Ran more east to west than he did north to south. Nice job by the Collinsville defense on that coverage.
Looks like Jake Holton sniffed that out, came up from the free safety position. You know, our defensive end is just so close to holding that edge. I think they're going to keep running at him till he shows that he can shut that down.
Kevon Gaines lines up as a wide receiver here on the near side for Maui, who once again stands in shotgun with Jeremy Schooler as his lone running back. Two more wide receivers are over on the far side. Maui takes the snap, back to pass, throws down that far side and overthrows.
Almost intercepted.
His intended receiver, Elijah Nelson. Yeah, that was.
Is that True Barber over there? Who's playing?
God, yes, it is. True Barber has been back for, I think this is his 3rd week now.
Man, what a tough kid. You know, we took care of him in the office, trying to prep him to come back. He's got what's called a Jones fracture of the foot, and the kid felt no pain. I mean, he wanted to play with the broken foot. Just an incredible, tough young man. But he was patient, got the care he needed, and it's great to see him out there.
3 wide receivers lined up here on the near side, 1 on the far. Man in the slot is Elijah Nelson. Closest one to us is Flagger. Man goes into motion, empty backfield. Maui back to pass, looks down the middle, throws, and a little incomplete pass intended over there for Gaines, and another nice defensive stand by the Kahawks.
Certainly. Looks like our defensive backs, our corners and safeties are really playing well. I'd be surprised. Looks like we're going to see a punt here.
Yep, they're bringing in Alex Maxim.
Eventually they're going to come back to this side of the field, try to go up the middle on the same play that worked for them before, so we got to be sitting on that.
Alex Maxim, 30 punts on the year, averages 33.5 per punt. Not bad for high school.
Pretty solid, huh?
Yeah, here is the punt. It's nice, stays in the air for a while. It's going to hit the ground, and it's going to take a Lancers bounce until it goes out of bounds at the Kahok 16-yard line. So that's where Collinsville will begin their second possession.
Yeah, another good punt by the Lancer punter, but I love to see the Collinsville Kahawks regain possession, running the ball so efficiently on their first possession up the middle. I'd still like to know who our right guard is because we really put that last drive on his shoulders.
Moore? No. All right, Collinsville comes back out for their second possession. And it starts deep in their own territory at the 16. Here is a handoff, and around the right-hand side the runner goes. Modest gain of about maybe a yard there, and again, that was Jaden Neighbors.
Yeah, the outside backer for the Lancers did a good job of closing off the edge. He had nowhere to go, but I like he went north and south and gained a yard on the play that seemed to be going nowhere.
2nd down and 9. Here's a little shovel pass. There's a flag thrown immediately after the snap, so this one may be coming back, and there wasn't much to it anyway, as Sloan did not get very far.
Could see a motion penalty on the Kahawks here, I believe.
Yep, and that will be coming back anyway. 1:22 left to play here in this opening quarter. 6-0 in favor of the Kahawks. Two teams just playing for some pride and trying to pick up another victory. Collinsville, of course, looking for their first 3-win season since 2011.
Yeah, you know, they started strong. They had a little bit of struggle in that Granite City game. But I think that's good for them because you grow from adversity. And I know the boys were really excited about tonight's game.
3rd down and 13 for Collinsville, deeper in their own territory. 3 wide receivers on the far side. I know there was a whistle, but I don't know why.
Looked like the referee got a little confused on the play. Chris Chai's just looking for the next play. You know, we get up to the line so quick, he's got plenty of time.
Kyler Williams is the lone setback, but Chai is back to pass. He retreats close to the end zone.
Oh, no.
And that is going to be down at the 1-yard line.
Well, you'd like to see Chris
Wow.
get rid of the football there, not really, you know, having good field sort of recognition there. However, that was the shot we were looking for. You know, I said eventually we're going to take a shot on the edge, and what better time, you know, now, although on 4th down, I guess we're going to have to punt it away.
Yep, Chai is going to stand back at the back of his end zone to punt this one. Man stands at midfield for the Lancers, and that's a high snap. Chai gets it down, gets rid of it. It's going to bounce. It's going to take a Collinsville bounce, and not a very good one. It's going to be down at the Kahok 30-yard line, so the Lancers only have to drive 30 yards to try and tie this up or take a lead.
Yeah, you know, Chris really salvaged a lot on that play. It was a bad snap over his head, and the fact that he got that, brought it down, and got a punt off at all was really a nice play.
So we'll see how the Lancers handle a little gift here as they will have the ball 1st and 10 from the Collinsville 30-yard line. Elijah Nelson and Kevon Gaines line up as wide receivers over here on the near side. Nelson goes into motion, but the handoff is dropped. Collinsville jumps on top of it, gets it back on the fumble recovery.
That was bound to happen. You know, the Lancers have been fumbling snaps all night long, and the quarterback's doing a good job of recovering. He just couldn't recover that time, and that's what happens when you get penetration in the backfield. When the ball pops loose, you got a guy there to get it.
And Dante Williams did just that, jumped right on top of that ball. So Collinsville, who just got rid of the ball on the 1-yard line, was looking at having to really shore up their defense as they gave the Lancers just a 30-yard field, but Collinsville gets the ball right back, and they're in good shape as they have it 1st and 10 from their own 33. Here is Chris Chai, hands the ball off to Neighbors. Neighbors goes right up the middle and gets about 3 yards before he's finally brought down. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 7.
You know, I like it that the offensive coordinator is continuing to pound the ball inside because all we're going to have to do is pull it and hit the edge for a big play any second here.
20 seconds left to play here in this first quarter. Here's a sideline pass that was intended for Jake Holton, but it was thrown on the backside of Holton's left shoulder, and there was no way he could grab that.
There was good coverage there. You know, he's probably better off not catching that ball. If he had possession, he was sideways in the air, and you know, that could have been a turnover. So, at any rate, that brings up 3rd down and 7. Let's see what Kahawks can do.
Stops the clock with 18.4 seconds left, so they'll have that much to get that one off. And depending on how the play goes. Could be the last play of the first quarter. Shotgun for Chris Chai. Man comes in motion. Bluffs the handoff to him, gives the handoff to the running back, and the running back has enough for a first down. That is Kyler Williams. That is probably going to do it for the first quarter. They stopped the clock with 11.6 seconds left, but as soon as they move the chains, they will bring the clock back on. We'll see if Collinsville has enough time to get the play off. Chai back there in shotgun, 6 seconds left. He is going to get the snap off. He's going to throw over on the far side. He hits Malcolm Burns, and Burns is going to dive forward and pick up about 7 yards. And that is the way that the first quarter comes to a close. So we will take a break here, come back. Second quarter action comes your way in just mere moments on the Kahok Sports Network.
Lakeside Roofing in Collinsville. Let the professionals at Lakeside Roofing protect your most important investment, your home or business. Have the elements taken a toll on your roof system? Notice a leaking roof? Maybe it's time for a free roof inspection. Regular maintenance can extend the life of your roofing system by 10 years or more. Lakeside Roofing is your winning team for commercial and residential roofing systems. Lakeside All-Star professionals have installed, repaired, and maintained hundreds of roofs on both sides of the river. Call Lakeside Roofing today, 618-344-2800, or on the Missouri side, 314-241-5253, or online, lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience, choose Lakeside.
Let's go ahead and thank Chapman Trucking, LLC. Chapman Trucking is a local Collinsville business owned and operated by 1994 Collinsville graduate Christy Chapman. With over 9 years of experience, Chapman Trucking can take care of all of the heavy lifting when it comes to hauling aggregate materials such as sand, driveway rock, dirt, boulders, and more, including getting your heavy equipment where it needs to be. Give Christy a call for a free estimate at Chapman Trucking, LLC at 618-960-9346 or online at chapmantruckingllc.net. Second down and about 8 to go here for Collinsville. As we switch into the field, handoff doesn't go anywhere. Matter of fact, the loss of about half a yard on the play there for Kyler Williams. And that's going to bring up third down and about 3 to go now for a first down. As Collinsville wastes no time once again. Chai in shotgun will take it and hand it off. And a first down and more for Jaden Neighbors into Lancer territory.
Well, that was a nice play, and there we go. You know, right in that 2 gap. Once again, we are making a living up the middle in that 2 gap.
First down and 10 now for Collinsville into Lancer territory. Chris Chai takes the snap, throws quickly to Jake Holton, and Holton couldn't hold on to the ball.
Yeah, gosh darn it, that's the second time we're trying to get Jake out in space. You know, he's got so much speed. If we can get him in space, he's a playmaker.
We know he's a playmaker on offense and defense. He leads the team in tackles from the safety position.
Well, that goes to show how good of an athlete he is. That's hard to do.
Man in motion is Sloan. Bluffed the handoff to him. They give the handoff to Neighbors, and Neighbors plows his way up the middle, picks up some positive yardage before he is finally pushed backwards. They're going to have him down at around the 36-yard line, so a gain of about 3 on the play.
Boy, Neighbors was just a little too quick. He ran into the back of his own guy, which is what slowed him down. We had that play blocked really well. But at any rate, here we are at, 3rd and 8, I guess.
Neighbors on the left shoulder, Williams on the right shoulder of Chris Chai. 2 wide receivers on the near side, 1 in the slot. The one closest to us is Malcolm Burns, and now we're going to have player exchanges going on as Neighbors comes out and Sloan goes in. 7 seconds left on the play clock. Here's the snap. Chai is going to hand the ball off to Sloan, and Sloan is going to get caught in the backfield and nowhere to go.
I think that was a busted play.
It was.
You know, everybody's throwing their hands up like, what in the world's going on? So, at any rate, at least you avoid a turnover on something like that.
Well, it brings up 4th down, so Collinsville is either going to go for it or they're going to punt it. You never can tell here because Chris Chai handles both of those quarterbacking and punting duties, but right now the line of scrimmage sits on the Lancers' 42-yard line, so you would give them decent field position if you didn't pick up anything here. Or you could try to pin them back there deep if you did try to punt, but it looks like we're going for it.
Yeah, I think you're going to see the ball in the air right here, maybe out to the left side.
Chai back to pass, steps up and thought he had some room, but then we got a flag that came in. real late,
maybe
and Chris Chai, I believe, says so. Rakan Ramsey, number 11, was the one who got up off of Chris Chai, and he's the one arguing the call as well.
I think I saw it.
It is a face mask. So that will change things up here for the Kahawks.
Wow, that's incredible. Those are two enormous penalties so far in this game for the Belleville East Lancers.
Yeah, the holding penalty that took away a touchdown, and now this one that would have given the ball back to the Lancers in decent field position.
I really like Chris Chai's decision-making there. You know, in the last series he showed he went down deep in the backfield. Here his receivers weren't open, so he immediately just broke forward. Worst case, he wasn't going to lose any yards.
Only a 5-yard penalty on that face mask, so it wasn't deemed an on-purpose misconduct penalty, so it's still fourth down and 10 for Collinsville. Ball on the Lancers' 38-yard line. Chai back to pass. He throws down the right side, has a man open, and pass interference. Both flags from two different referees come in at the exact same time, as the man over there wearing the pink sleeves was all over our wide receiver.
Well, he was beat was the problem,
yeah.
Right? Our receiver had him beat. He reaches his hand out, and when you've got your hand, you know, a hold of a receiver who's got you beat, flags are going to be flying from all corners of the football field.
Can't tell who that is. Looks like Neil Williams, but his jersey front is all scrunched up, so I can't tell the number. Might have actually been Jalen Ford, the defensive back, and I believe it was. Defensive back on defense, plays wide receiver on offense. 9:38 left to play here in this second quarter. Just a 6-0 game. Collinsville scored a touchdown on their first drive, missed on the 2-point conversion. And now the Kahawks are knocking on the door once again. Fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 from the Lancers' 23-yard line. Split backs in the backfield once again. Two wide receivers are over on the far side. Malcolm Burns is the lone wide receiver here on the near side, just at the end of his bench. Here's the snap. Chai hands it off to Kyler Williams, and Williams skips up through the line of scrimmage and picks up maybe a yard. .25 left to play here in this second quarter. 2nd down and 8, pickup of 2 on that play. Chris Chai hands the ball off, this time to Jaden Neighbors. Neighbors sweeps it around the right side, then gets flung out of bounds right at the 20-yard line. So it'll be a pickup of 1 on the play, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 7.
Well, I like the time of possession stat so far this game. I mean, the Kahawks are absolutely controlling this football, and they're controlling the line of scrimmage, which is really nice to see for our linemen here.
Kyler Williams now on the left side of Chris Chai. He is going to bluff the handoff to him, throw a sideline pass. Jake Holton has it. He puts on a couple of moves and gets down inside the 15-yard line, and I believe that's enough for a 1st down, and it will be.
There's that playmaking capability out of Jake Holton. We've tried that 3 times. Twice the ball was too low. You know, you get the ball in his hands. He broke a couple guys' ankles there, made him just fall over with his moves.
Now Holton lines up in the slot right next to Cameron Sloan over here on the near side, but the handoff is going to go toward us, and then a cut right up the middle by Kyler Williams, and then Williams gets pushed back after that, and he'll get credit for 0 yards gained on that carry.
Well, and give our running backs credit for really holding on to the football. They're covering it up with 2 hands. You know, the ball hasn't even thought about coming loose, and we've run the ball an awful lot tonight, Todd.
No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 for Collinsville from the Lancers' 11-yard line. Kahawks knocking on the door once again. Here is Chris Chai in shotgun, hands it off to Neighbors. Neighbors meets a few white shirts and goes immediately down, and again, no gain.
Lancers are now showing to start to show nice pursuit out on this right edge. It looks like their corners and their linebackers are filling nicely. So here's see what the Kahawks can do on the 3rd and long.
3rd down and 10, and back to passes Chai, and he overthrows Malcolm Burns right at the 2-yard line, and Burns would have had a easy entrance into the end zone. So here's Collinsville in another 4th down situation.
Malcolm was wide open. Chris got just a little excited, and that ball sailed on him. Easy to do coming from a former quarterback. You know, a lot of times those guys are too open.
Well, they need a first down at the 2-yard line, but since you're already 2 yards closer to the end zone, why not just go for the whole thing? I'll take either, though. Wide receivers, a bunch of them line up over on the far side, including one of our running backs, Neighbors. Here is Chai in shotgun, goes back to pass, empty backfield, throws it up across the line of scrimmage to Cameron Sloan, and then Sloan gets caught from behind by Howard Hayden, and Collinsville turns the ball over, but the Lancers are going to be deep in their own territory.
Yeah, I like the play call. Try to get Sloan in space. He's got a lot of speed, but 10, 11, 12 yards down in the red zone is a lot different to come by than when you're out in space.
Lancers will start this drive on their own 8-yard line. Chance for Collinsville to turn up the knob on the defensive heat here and maybe force another turnover or maybe even a safety. Maui is going to be under center this time instead of in shotgun. Oh, the next leg we're going to have a Keenan Waller sighting, actually, or are we? No, that was a direct snap to Ethan Parker, the 5'10", 181-pound junior linebacker, as he's listed at. He's not even listed anywhere on the offensive side of things. Well, it's either third-string quarterback.
As much as the Lancer offense has struggled, looks like they're going to try to mix it up, especially going, and here's the deal. This is where that deferment comes into play. We know we get the ball back in the second half.
Oh, yeah. So it is going to be Ethan Parker playing the role of quarterback right now. He takes the snap and he hands the ball off and does so to Schooler. And Schooler gets taken down right at the line of scrimmage as he just ran east to west and didn't make any forward progress at all.
Here comes Jake Holton again, all the way from the safety position to make another tackle. His statistics on defensive side of the ball from the safety position may be near record-breaking. It's incredible how many tackles Jake Holton's come up with this year.
3rd down and 10 now for the Lancers. They have 3 wide receivers over here on the near side with their third-string quarterback running the operation right now. He will stand in shotgun, will Ethan Parker. Looking over to the sideline for a new signal. No movement other than that. Now a man comes into motion, empty backfield. And actually, I am right. I was right the first time. I saw the 4, couldn't see the 44. That is Keenan Waller who's out there. I thought it was 44. Finally, I got a look at the back of his jersey.
It's certainly hard to see him from up here, isn't it?
Even with the white jerseys and the dark numbers, the way their jersey fronts are all scrunched up, you can't make out any numbers on the front. It's not until they turn around when I can finally see it, but that play did turn into a first down. It might have been one of those things where Waller might have done something wrong at school and had to sit out the first quarter.
Discipline, something like that, no doubt about it.
Well, Waller back in there now. He stands in shotgun. Man comes into motion, and a flag, a pre-snap violation against the Lancers.
Another costly penalty for Belleville East. And here you've got to look at the clock. I mean, there's still 5 minutes left, but the rate that this game's been being played on the ground, they could mess around and run out of time here, if they chew up a couple first downs.
Looking good there, Bree. Looking good. Homecoming, Brianna Wellen, softball player, volleyball player, dressed up in a football uniform. Here's the snap. Waller back to pass. Throws it deep, and True Barber had a better chance at that than the wide receiver, Neil Williams.
Yeah, once again, when they come to this side of the football field, our cornerback safety combination is playing very, very well tonight.
2nd down and 15 after that 5-yard penalty was attached after the first down play. So an incomplete pass on 1st down, 2nd down and 15. Under 5 minutes to play. Clock has stopped at 4:58 after the incomplete pass. So Keenan Waller back in there in shotgun. Has one lone setback, 3 wide receivers on the left side of the formation, 1 on the right. Back to pass is Waller. He looks, he throws, and again, Neil Williams was his intended target, and Neil Williams just dropped that ball. He was wide open, and it came right to him, and he just dropped it.
Sure did, but that goes to show the way that the Collinsville defensive backs have been playing. These receivers for Belleville East know that they're going to be catching the ball in traffic. And when you're thinking about different things, instead of just catching the ball, a lot of times you forget to catch the ball. So credit the Collinsville defenders for creating some of these drop passes.
3rd down and 15 for the Lancers from their own 17-yard line. Waller in shotgun. Here's the snap. He's going to take it himself, roll around on the right side, throw it down the middle, and again off of the hands of Neil Williams. And Williams was targeted 3 times in a row and could not come up with one.
Wow, yeah, that ball hit him in a bad place, right in the hand sometimes they say, right?
Yeah, and the other one hit him right in the chest.
Well, at any rate, we'll take it.
Sure.
I love to see the Collinsville defense out there holding their fists in the air. It's exciting. It creates momentum. You hold an offense to 4th downs, and you all of a sudden start to get some mojo in your game.
Alex Maxim set to punt, and Cameron Sloan back at the Lancers' 45-yard line. Let's see some Cameron Sloan action here. 2 return touchdowns this year. Let's make it 3. Kick is high, back toward the 50. A catch by Sloan. Spins out of one tackle, but couldn't get out of the other one. And Collinsville will still have some pretty decent starting field position.
Absolutely, that was nice. You could tell Cameron was drooling.
He's ready, man. He is so ready.
It's great to see the energy.
Last week we had the big leg of the Belleville West kicker who kicked the ball into the end zone every single time, and Cameron Sloan could not get a return. He had 1 for 9 yards. So he is just dying to run something back right now, and you could tell he was ready to go there.
So here goes Collinsville with 4:40 left in the half. Wouldn't it be nice to score and then come back out and
Sure
get
would.
the ball in the 3rd quarter?
Sure would. Here is Chris Chai in shotgun. He has 2 wide receivers here on the near side. He's going to hand the ball off to Kyler Williams, and Williams has a little bit of room right up the gut and picks up about half of what he needed to get the 1st down. And Collinsville, got to give them some credit. They've been running up the middle all night, and they've been doing it successfully.
Say if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
The edge isn't working as well. Let's continue to pound the ball up the gut.
There is a sideline pass to Malcolm Burns. Burns had a blocker in front of him, but I think Jake Holton got on the wrong side of number 46 there and couldn't contain him. But still, positive yardage was had. That'll bring up 3rd down and 2 here for Collinsville on the Lancers' 35-yard line. 4 minutes left to play here in this first half. In shotgun once again, Chris Chai. He hands the ball off to Kyler Williams. He skips around the left side and then gets taken down hard in the backfield by Raquan Ramsey. And a loss of maybe, well, back to the line of scrimmage at the very least.
Well, I think they're going to give him forward momentum, so that's nice because that Lancer drove him back about 3 yards in the backfield. Big 4th down for Collinsville Kahok offense here in the 2nd period.
4th down and short. Handoff goes, and it goes for a 1st down to Jaden Neighbors, who takes a couple of Lancers with him, most notably Jackson Dingler.
Yeah, somebody take our right guard some goodies at halftime.
Yeah, got some Three Musketeers up here for him.
We're going to figure out who that young man is. Eventually, we're going to see those numbers, but he needs some accolades here on KahokSports.com.
3:25 left to play here in this first half, and now Collinsville wants to call a timeout. So we will take a timeout with them and thank Metro East Roofing and Guttering, locally owned and operated since 1987 by brothers and Kahok alums, Tony and Corey Jones. Metro East Roofing and Guttering can help with your roofing, guttering, and siding needs. They're located at 1231 Lebanon Road in Collinsville. Metro East Roofing and Guttering is the hometown company you know and trust. Give them a call, 618-345-5679 today for your free estimate, and you can visit their Facebook page at Metro East Roofing and Guttering. 3:22 left to play here in this 2nd quarter. First half action. 6-0 in favor of the Kahawks on a 7-yard pitch to Jaden Neighbors. Collinsville missed the 2-point conversion. And thus we have a 6-0 score. 3:22 left to play. 1st and 10 for Collinsville. And we're going to have flags on that play. Or whistles. Whistle stopped the play. Didn't see a flag. False start they're going to call. I never did see a flag. All I did was heard the whistles. sometimes that happens.
Yeah, it saves the referee a trip from going to have to pick up the
Yeah.
flag.
So backs up Collinsville 5 yards. It'll be first down and 15 from the Lancers' 33-yard line. Still 3:20 left to play here in this second quarter. Chris Chai in shotgun. He bluffs the throw. Now he looks down the sideline trying to hit Jake Holton, but he overthrows Holton and the defender, Johannes Flagger.
It's actually pretty good defense. He even made it a point to put his hands up to show that he didn't have his hands on Jake. Little body contact, but they're going to let that go all day.
Stops the clock with 3:14 left, and it'll bring up second down and 15 here for the Kahawks. Sure, I would agree with you, man. I'd love to see some points before we head to halftime here. Second and 15. Sloan into motion, but the handoff goes to Jaden Neighbors, and Neighbors maybe got a yard. And it's going to bring up third and long here for the Kahawks.
Looks like, yeah, very
but Malcolm Burns probably would tell you the same thing. He should have had that ball. Ron Woods lines up as a wide receiver over on the far side. That is Jake Holton in the slot over there on the left side of the formation. Burns still over here by himself. Split backs. Back to passes. Chai, he looks. Now he tucks it up and tries to run. Gets out of one tackle, but I'm telling you what, there's number 11 again, Raquan Ramsey, the 6'1", 217-pound senior. Took care of Chris Chai in a hurry there.
Sure did. That'll be a turnover on downs. I do want to mention this is number 78, Ryan Wilkie, on the right guard that we've been running behind all day long. That young man should be commended.
5'11", 285-pound senior. Well, we'll see if the Lancers have any intentions on tying it up here, as they have all three of their timeouts left, 2:38 left on the clock. And last time, Collinsville took care of their business and didn't allow the Lancers to get very far. Here's a snap. Waller, he's going to throw it downfield, near side sideline, and incomplete, just off of the fingertips of Gaines here. Past the Kahawk bench. Lancer fans wanted a pass interference call, as right at the end of that play, the receiver and the defender's feet got tangled up, but there wasn't any contact before that.
That's incidental contact, and that's True Barber making another great play at cornerback. You know, one of the things I noticed about him in the office is his love for the game. You know, he tells me, he called me coach, even though I was his doctor. He said, "Coach, I'm a football player, coach. That's what I do." And just love the heart in that young man, because he's not a very big guy.
No. He's fast, though.
True. I mean, he's 5'1", 125, Todd.
Yeah.
And he's out there cleaning house.
Second down and 10 for the Lancers. Man comes into motion, and the handoff is going to go to the back man, Mikey Foster, and Foster is going to get up to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Maybe a half a yard on the gain, so nicely done on the defensive front there by the Kahawks.
That was a great tackle. Looks like that's number 62, Othello Williams. 6', 270-pound senior. Very, very nice. He really showed some mobility. And, you know, credit a little bit of that to Coach Blaha's wrestling program. Othello is a very, very mobile wrestler.
So it's going to bring up third down and about 9 to go for a first down here for the Lancers. Clock continues to run. We're under 2 minutes now and down to 1:50. And Waller in shotgun has three wide receivers on the near side. He's going to fake the handoff, tuck it. He tries to run with it. Thought he was going to throw it for a minute, and he's got a little bit of speed on him and makes a couple of nice moves and picks up a first down.
Yeah, did he get out of bounds? Or do they stop the clock when they move the chains?
They stop the clock when they move the chains. And I'm not sure if he did get out of bounds or not. I don't think he ever went down.
You know, I mentioned just real quickly the wrestling program. Coach Blaha is getting inducted into the SIU Hall of Fame this weekend.
Nice.
So big congrats out to Coach Tom Blaha, who's created a real strong program here in Collinsville.
Clock does stop, 1:39 left. Play at midfield. Lancers trying to move the ball down the field and get some points on the board before halftime. Oh, nice job. Chased down from behind. Dante Williams takes care of Waller.
Love that. He's been sniffing that all half. And he finally chased the quarterback down and came up with maybe certainly his biggest play of the game. But you got to love to get a check in that sack column.
And that was only
hard to come by.
Only the fourth sack this year for the Collinsville defense.
Those are hard to come by.
Brings up a second down and about 13 to go now for the Lancers. Clock coming up on 1 minute. Here's a sideline pass into the flats, and a couple of nice moves being put on there by Harris Hemphill, and he does pick up a first down and gets it down the field. Clock will stop for the movement of the chains with exactly 59 seconds left on the clock, and we'll keep the clock stopped just a little bit longer as the Lancers are going to take a timeout. So we'll take a timeout as well. 6-0 in favor of the Kahawks here as we approach halftime. Back in just a moment after a break here on the Kahawk Sports Network.
All Pro Tees is your place for custom apparel for your school, business, sports team, and more. All Pro Tees offers a variety of services and options, and they'll walk you through that process step by step. They pride themselves in being a local Collinsville business, and they specialize in helping their clients promote and grow that business, all with custom apparel. All Pro Tees, right across the street from Kahok Stadium. Online at allprotees.com or call 344-2200.
Todd Duke, Dr. Chris McCluskey back with you as we are down to the final minute of this second quarter. Collinsville leading 6-0. Lancers are on the move. They burn their first timeout, so they have 2 timeouts left to use within this final minute to see if they can pull it even or at least get 3 on the board because they do have a kicker.
Yeah, you know, a minute is an eternity when you're on your opponent's 38-yard line with 2 timeouts. So the Collinsville defense really wants to dig deep and get a stop or maybe even create another turnover.
They have been playing really good all night long, has the defense. I'd like to see that continue here for the next 59 seconds. Waller in shotgun. Takes the snap, throws, sideline pass, and that is complete to Flagger. And Flagger puts on a couple of nice moves and picks up another first down. Clock will stop as they move the chains. And the Lancers look like they want to keep a hold of those couple of timeouts left. As the clock continues to move, once they get the chain set down, there it goes.
Yeah, cornerbacks are given a lot of cushion.
51 seconds and counting. Here's Waller. Looks over on the far side. Throws it down the middle, and that one was probably close to being picked off. Yeah, that was Malcolm Byrne, or excuse me, that was Cameron Sloan down there on the defensive side of things, who almost came up with an interception in the end zone. Stops the clock with 40 seconds left to play here in this first half.
That was certainly another nice play by Collinsville's defensive backs. And burned another 10 seconds off the clock, like you said.
2nd down and 10 now for the Lancers from the Kahawk 23-yard line.
Looks like East is going to take a second look and call a check at the line of scrimmage.
Waller rolls out to his right-hand side, throws while he's on the run, and has a man open, and that man gets pushed out of bounds. And that was, I believe, Harris Hemphill. Jaden Harris Hemphill picks up another first down, stops the clock with 34.4 seconds left. So Collinsville really needs to dig in here on defense if they want to keep this score at 6-0.
Yeah, you'd like to see a defensive lineman or Dante come through and get a stop in the backfield, force them to burn their – they have 1 timeout left, right? Or they have 2 still?
2 timeouts left. Trying to save one of those in case they have to kick a field goal, so might see him burn one after this. Here's a play into the end zone, and that's a flag. That is offensive pass interference.
It certainly is.
As the other guy with all the pink sleeves on pushed off on True Bar, just kind of pushed him.
That guy looks like he's 7 feet tall compared to True, and you know they did that on purpose, but the guy forgot. He didn't have to push off.
No, probably didn't. All he had to do was jump.
That's right.
Trying to find his number. He's running sideways on me here. That looks like Khalif Muhammad, 6'3", 194-pound senior wide receiver.
That'll earn him a trip to the sidelines is what that'll do for him.
Sure will. That was another short touchdown. Remember, Lancers have already had 1 touchdown taken off the boards due to a holding penalty.
What a mental error on that play. There's just no reason to do that.
All the way back to the 27-yard line. Still first down, but boy, Lancers really shot themselves in the foot there. 29.2 seconds left. Again, Lancers do have 2 timeouts left.
Look for him to go right back to Barber.
And back to passes.
The other side.
And that's a overthrown ball who gets past everybody. over on the far side, intended for Flagger.
Hey, credit Luke Cuddy back there. You know, on that touchdown they called back, he really got passed by, and the receiver was wide open. They tried to go right back to him, and he was step for step with that receiver.
2nd down and 25 for a first down here for the Lancers. They need to get down to the 2-yard line to pick up a first down. And again, they do still have 2 timeouts left. Jalen Ford lines up as a wide receiver here on the near side. And that's the side that he's going for. Off of Ford's hands, almost intercepted on the tip. As Ford had to go off his fingertips, there was True Barber and Cameron Sloan right there, but neither one of them could get there in time to get that interception.
Yeah, that's another case of that receiver thinking about getting hit before he caught the ball. And he knew it was going to happen. He had 2 guys sitting back there drooling.
Fans starting to make some noise here as it is 3rd down and very long for the Lancers with 18.6 seconds left to play here in this first half.
Yeah, they're obviously in 4-down territory, so they're going to have 2 more shots at this. But this is a big play for Collinsville.
Jeremy Schooler is the lone running back, but I guarantee you they're not running. Here is Waller, a little sideline pass, and he completes it to Harris Hemphill, and Harris Hemphill is going to get taken down right at the end of the Kahok bench, and he did not run out of bounds, so the clock runs.
Big hit by number 4, Jake Holton.
And the clock is stopped with 10.4 seconds left as the Lancers use another timeout. Let's go ahead and thank the City of Collinsville. You can check out the City of Collinsville's Facebook page for information on upcoming events in Collinsville. The Halloween Chili Walk coming up on the 27th of this month. Other than that, nothing more to tell you about as far as a city-sponsored event. The City of Collinsville, once again, is a proud sponsor and supporter of the Collinsville Unit 10 School District, and they wish all district athletes good luck this sports season. So 4th down and a long 15 to go for a first down, but Lancers, I'm sure they would be interested in picking up a first down, but they can do that at the 2-yard line. I'm sure they'd rather just get into the end zone. Now they're going to try for a field goal. This is going to be a 35-yarder by Maxim. Here's the snap. Ball placed down. Kick is on the way, and it is no good. Wide to the left.
Wow, you know, that ball had the distance, certainly.
Sure
it looked
did,
like
yeah.
a nice kick, and I guess it just kept peeling left, and that is a huge stop for the Collinsville defense going into halftime.
5.4 seconds left. I would imagine the Kahoks are just going to kneel it and be happy to go into halftime with a 6-0 lead, and as we mentioned before, they get the ball back to begin the second half.
I think that's certainly a good idea, but you never know with these Kahawks. Sometimes
you don't, man.
You know, they don't always go with the conventional call. So we'll just see what Chris Chai and the offense have dialed up here.
Chai's in shotgun, so he's not going to just kneel on the ball. There's a snap, and it's going to be a handoff to run out the rest of the clock, and a nice move. Oh, man, Kyler Williams slipped and fell down at the 30-yard line, or he would have at least gotten a couple more yards, but that will run out the clock. We have reached halftime, and the halftime lead for your Kahawks, 6-0 over the Belleville East Lancers, as we welcome you into the Cafe Agape halftime show. Cafe Agape has awesome food. They have big old nachos on Mondays. You can get some burgers. Get your burger on Tuesdays with the 1-pound Burginator. Plus, they handle some great catering. If you have an event coming up, and you know that you do, with the holidays right around the corner, you can give Cafe Agape a call, and they will cater your little holiday shindig for you. Cafe Agape. Give them a call. 345-CAFE. That's 345-2233. We will take a break. We'll try to round up some scores for you and bring those to you in just a moment here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Agape in Collinsville. Cafe Agape serves up delicious sandwiches, burgers, steaks, pulled pork, and the Collinsville favorite, the steak and onion sandwich. Cafe Agape has weekly lunch and dinner specials with pork steak Wednesdays, meatloaf Thursdays, and fish every Friday. Cafe Agape also offers catering service, and you can get Cafe Agape delivered now through the To-Go delivery app. Cafe Agape is open Monday through Friday from 11 to 7, and they're located at 703 St. Louis Road in Collinsville, or call 345-CAFE. That's 345-2233. Code 3 Barbecue Supply, home of Code 3 Spices, is first responder owned by proud Kahok alums. Located at 302 East Main Street, Code 3 Barbecue Supply is your home for one-of-a-kind everything barbecue headquarters, providing the best American-made barbecue grills, smokers, rubs, sauces, and accessories, and cooking expertise from professional barbecue experts. Code 3 Spices provides award-winning rubs, sauces, and they donate 25 cents of each unit sold to first responder and military organizations that focus on providing aid to the fallen, suicide prevention, and PTSD awareness. Stop on by, see the guys at Code 3 Barbecue Supply for all of your cooking and grilling needs. Code 3 Barbecue Supply, home of the Memphis in May first place world champion Patriot sauce. Learn more about their products and mission in giving back to those who serve at code3spices.com.
Hi, Purple and White fans. This is Dan Mode, class of 1989. I'm with New American Funding. Myself and New American Funding are proud sponsors of Kahok Athletics. As we have great coaches at CHS on all the courts, fields, and tracks, we like to coach you through the home buying process and refinance process. If there's ever anything we can do, I can be reached at 618-973-5343 or www.danmodeloans.com. Let's support our student athletes at CHS. They deserve the best. Thank you for your time, and go Kahawks.
Hi, I'm Colton Pareko. I want to thank the team at RE/MAX Alliance for helping me find my first home. It couldn't have been any easier. If you're in the game for a new home, contact my friends at RE/MAX Alliance.
Pack Mail, locally owned and operated by Ryan Combs. Pack Mail can ship anything, anywhere. They treat you like a neighbor because you are a neighbor. Pack Mail offers shipping materials and containers, private mailboxes, as well as climate-controlled self-storage. Visit Pack Mail, 407 Beltline Road in Collinsville. Online, WeShipSt.Louis.com or call 346-4884. Agape in Collinsville. Cafe Agape serves up delicious sandwiches, burgers, steaks, pulled pork, and the Collinsville favorite, the steak and onion sandwich. Cafe Agape has weekly lunch and dinner specials with pork steak Wednesdays, meatloaf Thursdays, and fish every Friday. Cafe Agape also offers catering service, and you can get Cafe Agape delivered now through the To-Go delivery app. Cafe Agape is open Monday through Friday from 11 to 7, and they're located at 703 St. Louis Road in Collinsville, or call 345-CAFE. That's 345-2233.
And we welcome you back into the Cafe Agape halftime show. Here it is 6-0 in favor of your Collinsville Kahawks over the Belleville East Lancers. Elsewhere, didn't see this one coming. The Alton Redbirds all over the Granite City Warriors 42-3 as that game heads into halftime. Both teams looking for another win to help their playoff aspirations. Both teams have 4 wins, so one more would help. And then, of course, you have the last week next week. Edwardsville over Belleville West right now by a score of 20-6. Triad over Waterloo at halftime, 14-7. It's Highland over Muscuda in the second quarter, 14-0. And Freeburg and Salem are getting ready to go to halftime with the Midgets leading 20-13. Major League Baseball, game number 1 of the National League Championship Series at Milwaukee between the Dodgers and the Milwaukee Brewers is in the bottom of the third, and they are tied 1-1. That's a look at your scoreboard on the Cafe Agape halftime show. We'll be back here in just a little while to bring you the first half stats of this game, as the second half of our Cafe Agape halftime show will be coming up in just a little bit. First, we got to get some breaks and take care of business and get something to drink and all that good stuff. So we'll be back in just a little bit to look at those first half stats here on the Kahawk Sports Network.
Agape in Collinsville. Cafe Agape serves up delicious sandwiches, burgers, steaks, pulled pork, and the Collinsville favorite, the steak and onion sandwich. Cafe Agape has weekly lunch and dinner specials with pork steak Wednesdays, meatloaf Thursdays, and fish every Friday. Cafe Agape also offers catering service, and you can get Cafe Agape delivered now through the to-go delivery app. Cafe Agape is open Monday through Friday from 11 to 7, and they're located at 703 St. Louis Road in Collinsville, or call 345-CAFE. That's 345-2233.
And we welcome you back into the Cafe Agape halftime show here on the Kahok Sports Network. Just about ready for second half action. Let's go through the first half stats. We'll begin with Belleville East. Jeremy Schooler leading his team in rushing modestly. 4 carries for 17 yards. Keenan Waller has a couple of carries for 7. Mikey Foster has 2 carries for 8. Maui, while he was in there, carried the ball twice for negative yardage. Waller, through the air right now, is 5 of 12 for 65 yards. Maui, while he was in there, 3 of 7 for 21 yards. Leading receiver right now is Jaden Harris Hempel. He has caught 5 passes for 49 yards, a couple of catches for Flagger for 28 yards, and the Lancers have been penalized 6 times for 55 yards. For Collinsville, Jaden Neighbors leading the way, 14 carries for 70 yards, including that touchdown. That was a pitch out from Chris Chai to Jaden Neighbors for the only score. Kyler Williams has 9 carries for 31 yards. Chris Chai, he's carried the ball 4 times, but negative 17. That happens sometimes with quarterbacks. Cameron Sloan is also in negative yardage after 3 carries for 8 yards. Through the air, Chris Chai, 7 for 13 for 40 yards. Those passes, Malcolm Burns have caught 3 for 11 yards. Jake Holton has caught 2 for 19. And single catches by Ron Woods for 6 yards and Cameron Sloan for 4 yards. And Collinsville has only been penalized twice for a grand total of 10 yards. So, you are caught up. Halftime. 7-yard touchdown pitch from Chai to Jaden Neighbors is the only score of this game. And the Kahawks are due to get the ball back first to begin this second half of play.
Well, we talked when we started the game about, making the deferment, coming up with a big stop, and putting points on the board, and we did just that, and then we came up with a big defensive stop at the end of the first half to bring in, Collinsville's in a really good position here in the second half of this homecoming football game.
Maxim is set to start things off here, and he does so with a short kick this time, and it's picked up by Sloan, and Sloan is off to the races, up to midfield, and Cameron Sloan gets the ball up to the 48-yard line. Fantastic beginning here for quarter number 3 for your Kahawks.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Sloan. He's had that engine fired up all night long, and he got to that edge in a hurry and got some valuable real estate to put the Kahawks with, I think, their best starting field position of the night.
Sure is. Just underway here in quarter number 3. Collinsville with a 6-point lead, looking to add more. I wish they would, because I'm not comfortable with just 6-0 right now. Here's the handoff to Kyler Williams, and Williams breaks free. He has to get past another defender and could not get past the final guy, who was Jalen Ford, and a big chunk of yardage picked up there by Kyler Williams.
Another excellent job of blocking by that Collinsville front 5. Sometimes they call them the forgotten 5. Well, we're not going to forget those guys tonight, that's for certain.
Cole Hellman on the left tackle spot really opened up that hole. Here's a little dump-off pass that's caught by Burns. He spins out of one tackle but couldn't spin out of the rest of them. He got past Bryson Ivy, but everybody else closed in, and a loss of about 2 on the play.
Yeah, tried the little short kind of shovel-esque pass, and it was just a nice job for him to catch the ball and keep it safe to secure possession to give us another shot here.
Chai in shotgun once again. 2 wide receivers on the far side, but the handoff goes right up the middle. Once again, Jaden Neighbors gets close to a first down to the 20, and he will have enough for the chains to be moved.
Can't say enough about protecting the football. That big linebacker from Belleville East had his ball on that football, trying to rip it out of Jaden's hands, and Jaden was not letting go of that pigskin.
Split backs in the backfield once again, and this time it's a throw while Ron Woods was wide open, as he is going to get rid of Jalen Ford and go in for a 20-yard touchdown.
Very nice play. He was given a lot of cushion out on the edge. Chai gets rid of the ball quick, delivers a strike right to Woods. Woods puts a juke move on and earns himself pay dirt here at Kahok Stadium to put the Kahawks up 12-0 with 10:55 left.
Jalen Ford gave him way too much cushion over there, and then Ford paid for it.
Did. I'd be interested to hear after the game if that was a check play, you know, if Chris recognized that and just went right to him.
Well, Jaden Ford backed off thinking it was going to be a pass play, which it ended up being, but he thought it was going to be a lot longer than it was. Here's a two-point conversion. The pitch is going to go to Neighbors. He gets out of a tackle in the backfield, goes around the left-hand side, cuts it up. He's in for the two-point conversion.
What? You know, they have the term playmaker for a reason. We've used it already tonight. And he was stopped 10 yards back in our own territory, reverses course, peels around the edge and with the afterburners on. And that's a big play, you know, because if the Lancers score a couple touchdowns, they do have a field goal kicker, and they're probably going to make some field goals. So that was a huge two-point conversion.
Man, you ain't kidding there. And that was all Jaden Neighbors there because he didn't have any help from anyone else in that backfield. He got out of that himself and turned it upfield and put on the afterburners and got into the end zone for that two-point conversion. Nice job by the Kahawks on that drive.
Boy, Chris Chai and Cameron Sloan just put on a celebration dance on the sidelines that they must have choreographed the whole season.
Did you catch that one on the camera?
I got the second half of it. I just peeled it around. I hope you folks enjoyed that down there, number 7 and number 3. That was great. Maybe we'll see another touchdown and they can reenact that dance.
Meanwhile, look at Dante Williams down there just jumping up and down. He's ready to go back in there and play some defense. There he is.
Dante, he sure is.
He's ready to go, man. He's like, come on, kick that ball. Let me go back out into the field.
You know, what a gentleman. We made a post on Facebook, and my daughters had a scavenger hunt, and they had to get an autograph and a picture of the varsity football player, a varsity Kahok athlete. And Dante came out of a team meeting, spent time with our girls, took a picture with them. You guys can go to my Facebook page and see that picture. And that's what this is all about. It's about a changing culture, which Coach Popovich is really creating.
Grant Fisher will just kick this one on the ground. It takes a couple of skips and then goes right into the hands of Jeremy Schooler over there on the far side, and he doesn't get very far after that. So a little bit of change in pace here for Grant Fisher carrying the kicking duties tonight. Instead of trying to kick it as far as he can and high, he just kicked it onto the ground.
Well, we came up with more advantageous field position that way, certainly.
And there was always the possibility that it could have hit somebody up front and Collinsville could have jumped on it for an onside recovery.
Yeah, you never know. Even, you know, a lot of times, you know, teams will squib kick, they call them, you know, just something ugly. And a lot of times that'll prevent a return.
Keenan Waller back out there for his second quarter off to the races on the far sideline. The only one that can catch him is True Barber, and True Barber did indeed do that, but not before the Lancer quarterback takes it all the way down to the Kahawk 25-yard line.
Yeah, it was a good play. They had the blocking scheme put on well. You know, all three of our linebackers got sealed, and once again, Jake Holton was the last man standing, and you just can't expect your free safety to make 90% of the tackles on the football field. But nice play by True Barber. Belleville East is still going to have to earn their touchdown.
Well, that two-point conversion looms large now after that run as the Lancers are threatening to score their first touchdown. Here is a snap, and the handoff is going to go to Schooler, and Schooler tries the left side, and he has some success. And into the end zone. Actually, that was Jaden Harris-Hemphill, and Hemphill just broke one loose for 24 yards. So back-to-back scores. After only having one touchdown scored in all of the first half, we've already had two, and we haven't even made it 2 minutes into the second half.
Well, and that's what you listeners out there, halftime means a lot in the game of football. You know, usually the second half and the first half are completely different because the coaches watch film, they make adjustments, they're going to change schemes, they're going to pick on different guys. So, you know, this is going to be a different game in the second half, but it's surely going to be one that's fun to watch.
Maxim on to try the extra point. Here's the snap, ball placed down, kick is on the way, and the extra point is good. So the Lancers get on the scoreboard for the first time tonight.
Well, he has quite the leg. I think that would have been good from 35 or 40.
Probably would have.
Very, very beautiful kick there.
And Collinsville will then get the ball back. How about some more sponsors to thank? Thank you very much. The Collinsville Education Association. The CEA is your partner as they work to ensure quality education for our children. The CEA advocates excellence and equity in public education. For more information, you can visit the Collinsville Education Association's Facebook page, or you can check out their website, CollinsvilleCEA.org. Well, that first touchdown by Collinsville here to open up the second half really needed that, because as it turns out, the Lancers would drive down the field and put one up themselves. So instead of Collinsville being down 7-6, the Kahawks are up 14-7. Maxim set to kick off once again. Back deep, Cameron Sloan. He's in the middle, along with Stephen Green over here on the near side. And this one is going to travel over on the far side, and it's going to be taken over there by Cameron Sloan. And Sloan turns the corner. Actually, that's Kyler Williams. Williams has some room up to the 40, up to midfield, puts it down to the left, and he is in Lancer territory.
Another great run back, and I think he ran 30 yards straight across the field. Looks like there is a flag down.
Illegal block in the back going against Collinsville, and that'll come back.
Well, a lot of times when the return man runs straight across the field, that allows too much time for our guys to hold their blocks, and they end up with an illegal block. Very common when you see a long play sprung on the opposite sideline.
That's the first real bad penalty for Collinsville here tonight. Before that, they only had a couple of false start penalties. That was it, 2 of them. 2 of them for 10 yards. Meanwhile, the Lancers had 6 penalties in that first half for 55 yards. A couple of them were costly, including a holding call on a touchdown play that would have at least tied the game at that point, pending that extra point try. But this one kind of hurts, because instead of having the ball at the Lancers' 48-yard line, Collinsville is going to be put back to their own 20.
Certainly so. Here to get to the edge, just like they did against us on that last scoring drive.
No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 now for the Kahawks from their own 23-yard line. Here's another handoff, and this one's not going to go anywhere as well. That one went backwards.
Yeah, he stacks the box again, and they're going to challenge us to try to hit the edge or to put the ball in the air. So we'll see what Coach Popovich dials up on this 3rd down and what looks like a long 15 or 16.
Shy in shotgun as usual. He'll go back to pass. He'll throw it down the middle, and Malcolm Burns had it go off his fingertips.
So we're going to that pass over the middle. So we've seen East do that. And again, what happens is the receiver has it in their mind that there's linebackers waiting on them, and they just simply forget to catch the football.
4th down, Collinsville will have to punt, and the Lancers do not send anyone back to receive that punt.
Well, let's get a little end over end here, Chris Chai.
Well, get that bounce. Good kick. It's going to roll a Collinsville roll all the way down, and it'll be touched up at about the 31.5-yard line. So a good job there by Chris Chai on that punt.
I'm really surprised Belleville didn't have a return man back, knowing we don't have really a traditional punter, right? Chris isn't going to kick the ball a long way, and they probably cost themselves 20 to 25 yards on that.
I'm wondering if they even were aware that it was 4th down.
Very interesting.
Yeah. We'll take it.
Yeah, at any rate, we've got 9:21 left in the 3rd quarter. Looks like we'll see if the Collinsville defense can come up with a big stop here.
Keenan Waller back out there once again. Mikey Foster will be his lone setback over here on the near side, lining up on the sideline. Wide receiver, Kevon James. Man in the slot as well, plus a wide receiver over on the far side. Watch Waller. He's got some pretty sneaky speed. He fakes the handoff and takes it himself, and he will go up the middle, and he'll pick up about 6 yards on the play. Didn't show that speed when he took over the quarterback duties in the 2nd quarter, but boy, he sure did to begin this 3rd one.
He's certainly an athlete. There's no doubt about that, and that's one reason his hands touch the ball every single play.
Waller looks over to the sideline as now Gaines will go over to the far side and line up as a receiver as Flagger lines up on this side. Here's the snap. Handoff is going to go to Mikey Foster, and Foster gets swallowed up in the backfield. Quilling in on that stop. And no gain on the play.
Yeah,
that'll
like
bring
the
up
middle
3rd down.
linebacker Joel Philpott made some penetration, and the right side of the line was in the backfield. And that's a big play, forcing a 3rd and, 3 instead of, 3rd and 1.
Waller in shotgun. This is kind of the same thing that Triad does right before the snap. They'll pause and look over to the sideline. Formation doesn't change, so the play probably doesn't either.
Fumble.
And a fumble by Waller. Who's got it? The Kahawks have it. Coming out of the pile with that ball, big number 44, Joe Philpott. You just mentioned him there, Doc.
Sure did. Joe Philpott's a heck of a guy. He's worked hard his
one of the captains.
Football career. He's earned himself a captain spot. Comes from a great family here in Kahok country, big supporters of the program, and couldn't be happier for him to come up with that turnover here on homecoming night at Kahok Stadium.
Big turnover, second turnover of the night for the Lancers. Both of them have been fumbles. And now Collinsville in business once again, set up at the Lancers' 34-yard line. Chris Chai in shotgun. He has Neighbors and Williams flanked on either side. Almost an offside call there by the Lancers.
Yeah, I'm surprised the left tackle held up there, but he certainly did. So we're going to make a play call change, and here we go.
Here's the snap. Handoff is going to go to Neighbors. Neighbors skips out of one tackle, gets out of another, and gets out of another, puts on a spin move, and at the 25-yard line, he is finally taken down by Bruce Harris.
Yeah, a little late whistle there. When forward progress stops, we need to blow that whistle and protect these football players. At any rate, nice play, nice juke, nice spin move.
Yeah, that spin move looked like something you'd see on Madden.
But I'm sure he's played enough Madden in his life to mimic that. Here we go. It's second and 1.
Second down and 1, and the handoff is going to go right back to Neighbors. He turns the corner, and he might have enough to pick up that first down. It's going to be really close. Man on the near side sideline will spot the ball, and then we'll try to figure it out from there. Looks like the man in the middle is going to spot the ball now, and about a little short. A little bit short, 3rd down and a long 1 to go, or a short 2, whichever way you want to look at it, as Chris Chai barks out signals trying to draw the Lancers offside.
Lancers are stacking up the box. They've got 5 down linemen, 3 linebackers. We're going right up the middle.
And Williams gets the first down, and a little bit more, down to about the 21-yard line. Needed to get it to the 24, so got about 3 more yards than what he needed. Most importantly, the chains move, and the Kahawks get a fresh set of downs with 7 minutes left to play here in this 3rd quarter. Collinsville up 14-7. Here's another handoff to Neighbors. He tries the right side and runs into trouble and goes down immediately.
It seems like we keep running to the short side of the field, and these linebackers are doing a good job of setting the edge. Look for maybe a misdirection or a reverse. Going the other way to the wide side of the field where we can get some of our speed and space.
There's the next snap. Chai throws and has a man open right up the middle, untouched for a touchdown. Ron Woods and the Kahawks have their 3rd score of the night.
Boy, Chris Chai delivered a strike there, a nice 3-step drop, put the ball right on the numbers. Receiver didn't even have to slow down, catches the ball in stride, and like a gentleman, he sets the ball down in the end zone and comes and gets a little congratulations from his own teammates. He's right back on the line of scrimmage, getting ready for what's, again, another big 2-point conversion.
20-7 right now. Kahawks looking to add on a couple more. Here's a pass in the backfield, and that one is dropped and really never made it except for that outside hand over there for Neighbors. His right hand got a touch on it, and that was about it. So 2-point conversion not good this time, but the touchdown is 20-7, 6.5 minutes left to play here in this 3rd quarter, and we're back with a kickoff to the Lancers in just a moment here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Mike's Automotive in Collinsville. Mike's Automotive is a T3 certified tire center, and they can handle all of the basics, like oil changes and tune-ups, and the not-so-basic stuff like complete engine rebuilds. Mike's Automotive also has 24-hour towing and has 3 locations: Millstadt, St. Louis, and in Collinsville at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Or call 345-0611, online at mikesautomotive.net and Mike's Automotive on Facebook.
Todd Duke and Dr. Chris McCluskey back with you from Kahok Stadium. as the Kahawks score their third touchdown of the night. A 21-yard pass to Ron Woods, missed two-point conversion, and Collinsville is up 20-7.
Well, you know the rule is when you get a big turnover, you got to turn it into points, and Collinsville Kahawks certainly did that. It was a gutsy drive down the field to, again, give their defense some momentum to come out here and get a stop.
All right, here is Grant Fisher kicking it off once again. He gets a nice kick. It's high, and it's deep, and it bounces off of the chest of Flagger, and he runs forward after that and gets it up to about the 32-yard line, which is right around where Belleville East fumbled that ball back to Collinsville on their last drive.
Yeah, what a surprise. We come out with a squib kick, and on that play, you know, he looked like he's been kicking all year long.
We'll see how many high fives he gets over here on the sideline as he comes in, huh?
There he goes.
Nice job. Grant Fisher pressed into kicking duties, the 5'11 sophomore, 180-pounder, listed as a wide receiver on the Collinsville roster. So, Keenan Waller and company back at it again as Waller stands in shotgun. They've had some problems with the snap tonight. Waller's going to keep this one, and he busts it right up the middle again, just like he did on the first play on the very first possession of the second half last time the Lancers had the ball. Just not as many yards as he did last time, but good enough for a first down.
Yeah, you're going to have to key on Waller a little bit. You know, the one thing I notice is their misdirection and fakes aren't as elusive as with the quarterback they had in the first quarter.
Yeah, you know, and he actually wasn't too bad, and I would imagine we're going to see a little bit of him next year because he's just a sophomore. Waller ready to go on a fresh set of downs. He will hand the ball off this time. He'll do so to Schooler, and Schooler breaks it up the left side, and he'll give a big chunk of yardage there as Jake Holton had the initial contact to help slow the runner down, and then True Barber finished it up at the end.
So they've pretty much shown us two plays only in the second half, right? They're going to run the quarterback up the middle, or they're going to hit the tailback coming around the edge.
Well, if that's all they do, I'm sure we can key on that and stop that from happening.
You would hope so.
Into Collinsville territory.
Yeah, still with that three linebacker look, and those guys could be, key factors in this game.
Here is a Waller keeper again, and right up the middle he goes, and I tell you what, that was probably a touchdown-saving tackle by Jake Holton there at the 23-yard line.
Yeah, there's really no reason for the quarterback to run, get into our second level when we've got three linebackers in the box. So we're definitely going to have to make an adjustment on that unless we want to keep giving up large chunks of yardage like we have in the second half here.
Wow, what a difference the two halves make. 6 points total in the first half, and we've already had 3 touchdowns scored here in this third quarter. Here is Waller in shotgun. He has Schooler off to his right-hand side. Here's the snap. The handoff is going to go to the man in motion, and that is Harris Hempel, and he will get up to about the 15-yard line. He'll be a couple of yards short of the first down needed, and it'll bring up third down.
Yeah, well, kind of like us in the first half. If what they're doing is working, they're not going to abandon it, right? So same two plays, but to the other side of the field.
Second down, excuse me. Second down and 2. Get it inside the 10-yard line. Good enough for a first down, so it'll be first and goal here for the Lancers. 4:49 left to play here in the third quarter. Collinsville up 20-7, but the Lancers are knocking on the door.
Well, they certainly are. That big Waller is.
And a fake handoff to him, and Waller goes up the middle. This time he is tracked down from behind. Still picks up some positive yardage there, but Quilling, he was all over Waller from the time he started running, just couldn't track him down well enough from behind. And Waller gets a couple of yards, and now they are inside the 5, are the Lancers. Second down and goal. Schooler again is the lone setback. Flagger, the wide receiver, here on the near side. Here's the snap. Handoff is going to go to Schooler, and Schooler cuts it up the right-hand side, and he is in for a touchdown.
Well, Belleville East certainly came out and meant business, and they showed us a sort of a two-play package, and it looks like the Kahawks are going to have to adjust to what those guys have got up their sleeve. It could be a long rest of the game.
And here is where you really miss a kicker, because us having to go for 2 points every time. We've made 1 and missed 2 And now with Maxim out there, with that strong leg of his, he makes this extra point, and all of a sudden the Kahawks are only up by 6 once again.
Yeah, the bottom line is Kahawks are just going to have to keep putting points on the board.
And
that's no good.
Is no good. That helps.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah, it is.
You know, because now all of a sudden it's a 7-point ball
Right.
game instead of a 6-point ball game. So a little cookie crumbled the Kahawks way here.
Yeah, it did.
For sure.
Wow, I actually wrote down on my piece of paper 20-14 because I thought for sure Maxim was going to hit that extra point.
Looked to me like he rushed it just a little bit because we had some penetration, and that's what caused him to hook it.
So with 3:52 left to play here in this third quarter, Collinsville due to get the ball back once again. Let's thank some more sponsors. If you're looking to buy a new home or sell your current one, you can trust the Blaylock team of RE/MAX Alliance with all of your real estate needs. If you buy or sell a home with the Blaylocks, guess what, folks? They will donate $200 to your favorite Kahawk Booster Club. So call Peyton Blaylock or his lovely wife Emily today, 618-780-4622, or you can visit them online, www.blaylockteam.com.
Hey, big congrats to those two on the birth of their
Oh,
first
yeah.
child as well.
Yeah. Cutest little baby. Well, they're all cute. Here's Maxim with a kickoff, and that one is low, and it bounces over on the far side where it is picked up by Kyler Williams, and Williams is going to run out of room and go down.
Yeah, that play just took a little bit too long to develop with the ball laying on the turf, and by the time Williams picked that ball up, there were a host of Belleville East Lancers in pursuit, and smart to just go down and protect the football.
So Collinsville will get the ball 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Williams will stay out there. Chris Chai trots onto the field along with Jaden Neighbors. So Neighbors and Williams will flank the Collinsville quarterback on either side. On this side, you have Jake Holton and Malcolm Burns lining up, stacked over here on the near side formation as wide receivers. Cameron Sloan over on the far side.
Yeah, the Lancers actually have 8 guys stacked in the box. Again, looks like that's going to be the package they're going to bring till we go to the edge.
Oh, well, that
boy.
was a blitz that was coming in, and Chai knew it, had to get rid of the ball quick, and when he did, he overthrew his intended target over there.
Ball just sailed on him. Looked like it kind of slipped out of his hands when he was hurrying.
Actually, that was not Sloan. That was Ron Woods over there, and he will remain on that side of the field as a wide receiver. So nothing on the play. 2nd down and 10. Handoff is going to go to Kyler Williams. He got a good block. Actually, that's Neighbors, and Neighbors gets it up close to the 30-yard line, which is where he needed to be for a 1st down, and it looks like he has it.
I love that play call, and that was a great block by our wideout. I think that was Jake Holton out there.
Yeah.
And I like the play call, too. If they're going to stack 8 in the box, we've got to get the ball around the edge. There's no question about it.
1st down for the Kahawks as we have 3.5 minutes left to play here in this third quarter. Collinsville leading 20-13. Here's another handoff. This one goes straight up the middle, and a modest gain of about a yard there for Kyler Williams. And Collinsville will be looking at a 2nd down and about 9 to go, maybe 8 after the spot.
Yeah, going with the no-huddle offense.
Yeah, that worked well for him in the first half. Chai back to pass, has a man open, and, well, I tell you what, he and Malcolm Burns are having a hard time hooking up. He's been open a few times today, but either the ball's been dropped, it's been thrown too high, or behind the receiver, and this one got blocked out to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Big Eli Norton, he had a good block on. I think he held it just about 2 seconds, not long enough, and the big defensive lineman was able to get his hands up and bat that ball down.
3rd down and long here for Collinsville. Need a 1st down to keep this drive going, or they'll have to punt it back to the Lancers, and the Lancers have figured out a couple of things here since the first half has ended, and they've moved the ball pretty well. Here is a quick pass out to the far sideline, and it's complete, and just a little bit farther. They needed to get Ron Woods, and he's going to be about 2 yards short, but Collinsville will go for it from here, I would think.
Ron Woods did run the safety over to earn about an extra 3 yards on that play, which makes it pretty much a no-brainer, especially with Coach Popovich down there. You know he's going for this.
4th down and 1 for the Kahawks. Ball on their own 33-yard line. Here's the snap. Handoff is going to go on the left-hand side, and a 1st down will be had on the forward momentum. I was surprised not to see a flag in there as the running back got grabbed by the collar from the backside and thrown down. It could have been a horse collar call.
Yeah, a lot of times I think if they grab the player by the shoulder pad on the side, they can get away with that. You know, they almost have to be dragging them down from behind for it to be a true horse collar. And that's one of those plays that or those penalties you don't see called very often.
First down run by Jaden Neighbors means a fresh set of downs here for Collinsville. They have it 1st and 10 from their own 43-yard line, 2:20 left to play here in this third quarter. Chai and movement.
Going to be a false start.
It will be. Oh, and still the...
See, to me, you got guys playing after the whistle.
Xavier Medina came in there and bowled over Kyler Williams after the whistle blew.
You either need to have a talk about that or you need to go ahead and throw a flag to set a precedent.
Yeah.
That's how you put players in danger.
5-yard penalty will mean a first down and 15 here for Collinsville, and that's the third time they've been flagged for a false start. The only other penalty they've been given tonight was that illegal block in the back on the kickoff play. 3 wide receivers here on the near side, one on the far, one lone setback. As Chai takes the snap, goes back to pass, throws down the middle. That's high, hanging up in the air. And, oh, what a nice job by Cameron Sloan to hold on to that ball.
Unbelievable juggling act. Cameron looked like a magician out there. He had 2 guys on him. He bats the ball up. I wish we had instant replay for that one, Tom.
I'm telling you, that'd be a fun one to watch on instant replay.
That was an incredible catch. And let me tell you, these first downs are keeping our defensive linemen off of the field and giving them a breather, which is really big for those guys.
Big play there into Lancer territory at the Belleville East 35-yard line. Handoff goes right up the middle. And Jaden Neighbors gets about a yard on the play before he's brought down. Actually, that's Kyler Williams. And now a flag comes in way late.
That's got to be against East. These guys are starting to taunt. Defensive ends out there clapping. You know, you can't do those types of things. I've been waiting for these refs to kind of notice the antics these guys are pulling.
And it came on the Belleville East side of the line of scrimmage. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Belleville East. And that'll give Collinsville an extra 15 yards. Big penalty there. And, boy, I tell you what, Belleville East has had some huge penalties here tonight.
Yeah, that one was overdue. I've kind of been keeping an eye on those guys on the right side. And I didn't say too much about it because you hate to do the referees' jobs, but I think they just had enough at that point.
1:36 left to play here in this third quarter, and that will add to the current drive of the Kahawks, and the Kahawks been moving the ball very well here in this second half.
When all of a sudden you look up and, you know, there's only a minute 36 left in the third period. Time of possession is really in the Kahawks' favor here tonight.
19-yard line is where the ball sits in Lancer's territory. Collinsville knocking on the door once again. They lead by a touchdown, would like to make it 2. Chai looks over to the sideline, has the play from Coach Popovich and his coaching staff. Man in motion is Sloan. Handoff is going to go into the backfield, and that man is not going to get very far at all. They would have been better off handing the ball off to Sloan.
Not with 8 in the box, that's for sure.
And now Collinsville is going to get penalized for unsportsmanlike conduct as Cameron Sloan threw down one of the Lancers players, Jackson Dengler, and they'll give that 15 yards right back.
To give that right back, especially in a game of this magnitude. You know,
personal foul, and we'll give those 15 yards right back. Collinsville has to get down to the 9-yard line for a first down. And you know, Coach Popovich does not like that.
No, it's frustrating. You know, these guys are kids and they lose their cool, but at the same time, this is varsity football, and they're just not expected to behave in that manner. That's for certain.
So they'll mark off the yardage and pretty much put it back to the original line of scrimmage before the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Belleville East. It'll still be first down, I believe.
Well, over at O'Fallon, they said we had 4th and Troy to go. Let me give you a little. We've got 1st and Caseyville to go, and maybe it'll work the same way.
Yep.
As we scored a touchdown to beat the O'Fallon Panthers for the first time in school history in their own house.
O'Fallon's only won one game all year, I believe. They've had a rough go at it. Here's a handoff. It's going to go to Jaden Neighbors. He tries the right-hand side, tucks the ball in, and actually got some positive yardage after he was only going to pick up about 2. He ends up picking up about 7. And We have a slow player getting up for the Lancers. That is Tristan Harrington, but he appears to be okay.
One thing about Neighbors is, the whistle's going to have to blow before he stops running, that's for sure. He keeps those feet going, and a lot of times he has a great second effort.
Chris Chai rolls out to his left. He's in trouble. He's got to get rid of that ball. He does so, and it's complete over on the far side sideline. And the clock continues to run. It's a modest gain. It's going to bring up third down and about 12 to go, or excuse me, fourth down and about 12 to go here for Collinsville. The final 30 seconds of this third quarter.
We're going to have to run a play. Looks
Well,
like
they called a timeout.
Injury timeout.
Oh, injury timeout. Wonder if it's the same guy who was injured and got himself up there just a little bit ago. It is. Same man I just mentioned, Tristan Harrington, is down with an injury. So we'll step aside for just a moment here on the Kahok Sports Network. We're in the third quarter, about 28.9 seconds to play in the third quarter, and we're back in a moment on the Kahok Sports Network.
Lakeside Roofing in Collinsville. Let the professionals at Lakeside Roofing protect your most important investment, your home or business. Have the elements taken a toll on your roof system? Notice a leaking roof? Maybe it's time for a free roof inspection. Regular maintenance can extend the life of your roofing system by 10 years or more. Lakeside Roofing is your winning team for commercial and residential roofing systems. Lakeside All-Star professionals have installed, repaired, and maintained hundreds of roofs on both sides of the river. Call Lakeside Roofing today, 618-344-2800, or on the Missouri side, 314-241.
Kahawks have the ball after a quick injury timeout. First and 10 from the 26-yard line of the... Oh, look at that, Dipsy Doodle! The Statue of Liberty play in for a touchdown!
Holy cow, we had two different laterals on that play to the outside. Credit Jake Colton for coming up with that catch that was low, making a great lateral, and then we had a second lateral. Credit the O-line for not holding. Beautiful play that could turn out to be the play of the football game, Todd.
The old Statue of Liberty play broke out here at Kahok Stadium, and it worked to perfection for the Kahawks. Man, I have not seen that play in a long time. That was fun.
Oh, man, you should see the biggest smiles on the Kahawk coaches up here in the booth after that thing worked out.
How much you want to bet they called that during that injury timeout? 2-point conversion. Here's the runner out to the outside, and Neighbors is in for another 2-point conversion for the Kahawks, and they take a commanding lead. It's now 28-13 with 17.2 seconds to play here in this third quarter.
Well, you know, and you talk about culture and changing the culture of a program, to have the fortitude and the faith in your guys to try to pull something like that off. It happens. You know, that's a momentum changer in this football game. And now the defense has no choice but to dig deep and come out here and play football at a totally different level than they did at the beginning of this half. And you can see our offensive guys down here jumping around, bumping chests and things like that. And what an exciting time for Kahok football.
Sure is. Yeah, it was an exciting play. Got the fans going, and the only people here that are upset about that are wearing the light blue and the white. That was fun to watch.
That was incredible. And I didn't see it happening. I thought we were going to try to get Jay Colton in space like we normally do. He flipped that ball up.
I thought he bobbled it. I thought he was bobbling it, but he actually knew what he was doing. And, boy, I tell you what, both players were in the right place at the right time after Holton flipped that ball, first of all, to Cameron Sloan. And
it's one of those once-a-year plays.
Yeah.
You know, and when you decide to break them out and the players execute, it's just very exciting.
So what would you call that? Holton to Sloan to Burns?
I believe so. Great pursuit by the Collinsville Kahawk kickoff team. See, here's where momentum comes into play.
That flag comes in late. That's probably for excessive celebration, I'm guessing.
I don't know. The personal foul.
Yeah. Personal foul. It looks like the referee's making a motion that one of the Collinsville players pushed the ball carrier back down after the play was over and the ball carrier was just trying to get up. And you don't need that stuff either.
Yeah, you know, they get a little excited. I don't think that was probably intentional. I think he was excited to get up off the ball, and that's one of those you live and learn and move on.
8.7 seconds left in this third quarter, so the Lancers will have at least one play before we head into the fourth. 28-13 in favor of the Collinsville Kahawks after a Statue of Liberty play. Holton received the pass, flipped it to Sloan, who flipped it to Burns, and Burns went in for a touchdown. Waller in shotgun.
Look for the same two plays we saw on the entire last drive.
Waller is going to go back
Going
to pass now. Throws it down the near sideline for Flagger, and
He's
that
out of bounds.
is out of bounds. No
Out of
catch.
bounds, no catch.
Well, one referee says he did catch it. The other referee says out of bounds, but I believe the out of bounds call is going to stand.
Yeah, that's the side judge's call. The back judge came in calling a catch. The side judge says no, he was out of bounds, and I think that's a good call.
That was great coverage by True Barber. Great coverage. He was there step for step with Flagger. And I believe at some point when they were going down to the ground, both of them had their hands on the ball.
I think so, too. And take no credit away from the receiver. That was a very nice catch to go up over Barber. But, you know, when Barber's sticking him that tight, he's got nowhere to go but out of bounds. Credit True Barber with that play.
That play took about 6 seconds, so 2.7 seconds remain on the clock here in this third quarter. Second down and 10 for the Lancers from their own 37-yard line. Waller in shotgun once again. Wide receivers, two on the far, one on the near. Here's the handoff to Schooler. He tries it around the right side, and he has a first down, and then he is knocked out of bounds. Looks like they're going to mark him out of bounds about a yard or a half a yard short of the first down. At any rate, that is the end of the third quarter. Back with the fourth quarter in just a moment on the Kahok Sports Network.
Sloan's variety of craft libations for you adults, as well as a great brunch on Saturdays and Sundays. Sloan's Clubhouse, 119 West Main Street in Collinsville. Call 855-9100 or online, sloanspubhouse.com. Pack Mail, locally owned and operated by Ryan Combs. Pack Mail can ship anything, anywhere. They treat you like a neighbor because you are a neighbor. Pack Mail offers shipping materials and containers, private mailboxes, as well as climate-controlled self-storage. Visit Pack Mail, 407 Beltline Road in Collinsville. Online, weshipstlouis.com or call 346-4884.
Hi, I'm Colton Pareko. I want to thank the team at RE/MAX Alliance for helping me find my first home. It couldn't have been any easier. If you're in the game for a new home, contact my friends at RE/MAX Alliance.
Keenan Waller keeps the ball and runs it in front of the Collinsville bench, but a flag comes in right after the play.
Comes from the referee, probably going to be a hold.
Holding against Belleville East is the call. They lost a touchdown to that same penalty earlier in the game, and this one is going to cost them a trip into Kahawk territory.
Yeah, it should be a 10-yard penalty, true?
Usually is, yes. Well, they're going to...
Or are they going to call that up? They're calling that from the end of the play. How is that?
Yeah. Well, they're going to repeat first down, and after they mark off the penalty, pretty much it's going to be back at the original line of scrimmage. Well, that's almost like the play never happened, right?
Yeah, I don't understand what happened there.
First and 10 for the Lancers from their own 47-yard line. Here is the handoff, and this one is going to go up the middle and a long way to go. Excuse me. And a big run there for Jaden Harris Hemphill, who's got most of his yards as a wide receiver this year, but boy, he's been running a lot here in this game.
Well, I mentioned earlier, you know, unless our defense makes an adjustment, our offense is simply going to have to keep putting points on the board, and it seems like that's the way this game's playing out. I'd like to see the Kahawk defense come up with just one stop. I think one stop could seal this game for us.
Waller in shotgun, one lone setback. Man comes into motion from the far to the near. Bluff handoff to him. Waller keeps it, goes up the middle, and gets taken down from behind. In on that tackle was Trey Anderson, one of the linebackers. We were waiting for a linebacker to make a tackle. There you go.
Yeah, our middle linebacker was there, and they're just kind of hesitating and waiting instead of going ahead and coming up the field and staying in their lanes. I'd like to see them make that adjustment and get a big stop here.
2nd down and 2 for the Lancers from the Kahok 14-yard line. Number 14, Waller, back to throw. Oh, that is almost picked off by the same man, Anderson. He was right there.
Trey Anderson, I think, was surprised the ball was in his hand.
You hit him. I mean, it was right. It was like Waller threw it to him.
He even bobbled it up, and I thought he was going to come down with it. Huge break for the Belleville East Lancers. Don't look for them to put the ball in the air again here.
Yeah, probably not. 3rd and 2. They just need 2 yards for a 1st down. I would imagine that Waller's going to run it. He's going to go up to under center, and that's exactly what he's going to do. But Collinsville and Trey Anderson is in there again and pushes him back. Not sure if they made it far enough.
I don't think they're going to get – well, it looks like they got a pretty good spot on that.
Yeah. It is a 1st down. Wow. They probably would have went for it on 4th down if he wouldn't have made it anyway, but still. Trey Anderson, haven't called his name all year, and I call his name 3 plays in a row.
Hey, that's what we got to have. I mean, our middle linebacking crew has got to step up their game. And like I said earlier in the game, they could be game changers here.
Here is a run by Schooler, and Schooler is going to make it into the end zone for a touchdown on a 12-yard run.
Well, Belleville East has certainly made some adjustment at halftime, because this is a tale of 2 different tapes, if you will, for the Kahok defense. But give them credit, and they keep going out there, and they're giving it their best shot. And you never know when they can come up with a turnover. But this game is going to lie on the shoulders of the Collinsville offense at this point.
Schooler's 2nd touchdown of this game. The first one a 2-yarder, this one a 14-yarder, as Maxim is on to try the extra point. He's already missed one of those. Here's the snap. The ball is placed down. A little hesitation there, and it's blocked.
True Barber, I believe.
Right, True Barber.
Huge, huge turn of events, because that puts the Lancers down by 9 points instead of 8. So now it is a 2-score game instead of a 1-score game for the Lancers. So this game could be determined by what's happened on the extra point tries for both teams.
That was Cannon Walker, the 5'8" freshman quarterback, who was out there holding the ball. So I don't know if it was a hold problem, a snap problem, or if Maxim just hesitated a bit. But whatever the problem was, it turned out into Collinsville's favor, because the Kahawks have a 28-19 lead. 9-point advantage, as my esteemed colleague Dr. Chris McCluskey just mentioned. That means it's a 2-score contest. So that'll play into Collinsville's favor as the Kahawks get the ball back here with still 10.5 minutes to go. There's almost a whole 4th quarter to play, folks.
Yeah, remember that 2-point conversion that we said, wow, that could be huge.
Yeah.
Right now, especially as much as they're moving the ball and effectively as they're moving the ball, with 10 minutes left on the clock, we mount a solid effort here and get 3 or 4 first downs. Next thing you know, they don't have time to score twice.
Maxim back to kick, back deep. Williams, Sloan, and Green. It is going to be Sloan who takes this one up the middle. He's got some moves. There he goes on the far side, across midfield, being chased down by about 4 Lancers, and they finally force him out of bounds deep into Lancer territory at the Belleville East 36-yard line.
I think Cameron Sloan put premium fuel in the tank today. There is no doubt about it.
Nice return by Cameron Sloan, and he's been licking his chops trying to do that the last 3 games, and finally got an opportunity to.
Absolutely. What a run, and he came right up the middle. He made one juke, and next thing you know, he's off to the races. So here we go, Collinsville Kahawk offense.
Already in Lancer territory, looking to pile on some more points and put this game away. Here's a handoff, and it's not going to go very far. Back to the line of scrimmage is it, as that run was by Kyler Williams, so a loss of about a half a yard on the play. We'll bring up a 2nd down and 11.
Yeah, we pulled the weak side guard and maybe even tackle there and just weren't quick enough back to the line of scrimmage.
There's Flinch up front, and that's another false start. And Collinsville will give up another 5 yards.
Yeah.
I don't think your daughters have ever heard the term licking your chops before. I said that, and they both looked at me like I got a third eye in my head.
Eli Norton, I think, was turning thinking there was going to be another play called. I mean, he turned all the way around to look at Chris Chai. and it was one of the most obvious false starts I've ever seen, but I don't think that he thought they were running that play.
So after the penalty, it'll bring up a 2nd down and 16. Here's a snap. Chai back to pass. It's a short pass just over the line, and it's complete. And going for a 1st down and a little bit more is Jaden Neighbors, and I believe he might have enough for a 1st down.
Huge play as time ticks. We're at 9:46. I'm not sure if he stayed in bounds or went out of bounds. Could you tell?
I think he stayed in bounds. They're just moving the chain, stop the clock.
That means they'll wind the clock.
Jaden Neighbors catching a pass out of the backfield.
So clock is rolling at 9:45.
Fresh set of downs for Collinsville. They hand the ball off to chew up some more time. Kyler Williams will get it up to the 25-yard line before he's brought down. And it's no gain on the play, or it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10.
That's right. So the 25-second play clock doesn't start until the ball's spotted. So we can, in effect, eat up about 30 seconds of play if we keep marching the ball down the field, which, in effect, is starting to come into play. It's got to be in the Belleville East Lancer minds right now.
Kyler Williams comes off the field. Jake Holton trots on. He'll take his place as a slot receiver over on the far side, right next to T.J. Williams, and a false start once again.
Yeah, we used
for
a little
Collinsville.
bit too much time. There's only 2 seconds on the play clock, so Chris Chai tried to force the situation, and we ended up giving up a false start penalty. Or we called a timeout. I don't know if he got the timeout called or not.
It looks like they did, and the referee's going to pick up the flag.
Thank goodness. Thank you, Mr. Side Judge, for listening to Coach Popovich.
No penalty on the play, so instead of 2nd down and 15, it remains a 2nd down and 10. 8:58 left on the clock. We'll remind you that, well, fall sports are coming to a close, man. We have one more game left next Friday here against Edwardsville. We start the playoff push Tuesday. Boys soccer right here on this very field. Regional action gets underway at 5 o'clock Tuesday afternoon as Collinsville takes on Granite City. And then a week from Tuesday, volleyball playoffs get underway. We are hoping that we don't carry that volleyball game for you, because that would mean that the Kahawks would be playing for a sectional championship here on the soccer side of things. So playoff soccer action gets underway Tuesday at 5 o'clock. Collinsville taking on Granite City. We'll be on the air around 4:40 with the pregame show. 8:58 left to play here in this 4th quarter. Collinsville up 28-19. Kahawks have the ball on the Lancers' 25-yard line, 2nd down and 10. Here's the snap. Handoff is going to go backwards, and they're not going to be able to get in at the 26.
Yeah, I don't mind the play call, but coming to the short side of the field, you hate to stop the clock, you know, when you're sitting 4th and 11.
4th and 11, and indeed the clock stopped after the player was pushed out of bounds. 8:07 left to play here in this 4th quarter. Play clock already down to 15 as the guys return from the sideline with the play. And Collinsville, of course, going for it here on
Jake
4th
Holt
down.
In space on the right side.
3 wide receivers over on that far side. Ron Woods is the only one over here on this side. And now Collinsville is going to call another timeout. Let's go ahead and thank the Junior Service Club of Collinsville. Since 1934, the Junior Service Club has been providing women in the Collinsville area an opportunity to make a difference with fundraisers and projects, all that go help the needy in Collinsville. For more information, you can visit the Collinsville Junior Service Club's Facebook page. So the Kahawks have burned back-to-back timeouts here and are left with 1. Lancers still have all 3 of their timeouts left.
Well, unless something goes terribly wrong, I don't think we're going to have to worry about trying to stop the clock at the end of this game. So I'm not super concerned about burning the timeouts. And on a 4th and 11, with the speed we have, if we can get the ball in space and get a 1st down here, would certainly be a huge, huge mountain for the Belleville East Lancers to overcome.
Did we mention it's a very chilly night here at Kahok Stadium? I'm sure everybody around here knows that. Chai going deep into the end zone. Woods is back then. He had to almost play like a defender, because I tell you what, Armand Sanders almost came up with that play for Belleville East in the end zone. Turnover on downs. Lancers will get the ball back as they trail by 9 points. 28-19, 8 minutes left to play here in this 4th quarter.
Well, you want to avoid giving up the big play here, right? We can give up 2, 3, 4 yards of whack without much problem. But you certainly cannot give up a big play at this stage in the game.
Keenan Waller back out there at quarterback. He has 2 wide receivers on the near side. That's the short side of the line of scrimmage.
A little mix up on the close side for the Kahawks.
Man in motion.
We got to tackle.
Gets the ball. That is Harris Hemphill, and he is still on his feet. Still on his feet. Breaking tackles left and right. Gets into Collinsville territory all the way down to the Kahok 43-yard line. Did not want to see that happen.
Yeah, there's the big play we were talking about. You know, Collinsville's just going to have to decide that they're going to tackle at this point in time. You know, it's one thing if we get confused and get somebody in space, but when you got a guy bouncing off Collinsville defenders, you know, look for those guys to get fired up and find a new gear to bring these Lancers down.
7:40 left to play here in this fourth quarter. The clock cannot move fast enough if you're a Kahawk fan. Man comes into motion. He does not get the ball. Waller keeps it and goes up the middle and picks up about 5 on the play.
That's what our defense has to do right there. You know, if we give up 3, 4, 5 yards, you know, you want to hold them, you know, to not get first downs. But even if you give up first downs at this point, 3 or 4 yards while the clock's running is going to certainly fare well for the Collinsville Kahawks.
2nd down and 5 for the Lancers from the Collinsville 38-yard line. Waller takes the snap and hands the ball off to Schooler. Schooler is going to get caught behind the line of scrimmage and gets through 2, 3 missed tackles, and he gets all the way down to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, there's tackling coming back to haunt the Collinsville Kahawk defense. But I believe that they're going to get it together. They're getting frustrated with themselves, and they certainly are being challenged here out on the edge. And our cornerbacks and our safeties are certainly going to kind of have to come up and wrap up instead of arm tackling. These guys are too good athletes to arm tackle. Lancers have first down on the 11-yard line. They're going to run the ball up the middle with the quarterback. We've got pursuit by the linebackers. He gets out of bounds at the, I think, 16-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd and about 4, 5 or 6, maybe a long 5 or a short 6 for the Lancers.
Place it down at the 17-yard line after the run by Waller. And 6:39 left on the clock. Again, Lancers trail by 9, so they need more than just one score. Well, I'd like to keep them out of that end zone totally.
Yeah, or run the clock down to 2 or 3 minutes to let them get in, and that's one of those two things has to happen for the Kahawks here. We're going to go back out there, see if we can tackle this time.
Schooler in the backfield goes down at the 20-yard line. That's back to the original line of scrimmage, so it'll bring up a 3rd down and 10 here for the Lancers as the clock continues to move. 6.5 minutes to go. Lancers again have all 3 timeouts. You don't like to hold on to those for a final drive if they can get close enough.
Yeah, that was a good open field tackle, and that's what the Collinsville defenders have to do. If they do that, we'll win this football game.
Waller in shotgun once again. Schooler is his lone setback. Flagger on the near side sideline as the
middle again.
Wide receiver. And Waller's going to get swallowed up in the line of scrimmage and go backwards on the pile driver by Quilling.
You know, we said earlier on those missed tackles that the Collinsville defense, I think they'd had enough. They were getting out there, pumping each other up. Now they've got their fists held in the air. That means they've held these Lancers to another 4th down. Has to be a record time this year for holding the other team to a 4th down. Certainly in conference play, no doubt about it.
4th down, and it looks like they're going to bring on Maxim to try a long field goal because, as we mentioned, they need 2 scores. So you're already in field goal range here. This one is going to be about a 37-yarder for Maxim. He already missed a 35-yarder earlier in the game. Here's the snap. Kick is on the way, and this one is going to go wide left as well.
Oh, man, what a play, what a play. That ball had the distance. This Maxim kid's got a leg on him. But we're getting enough penetration. I think he's rushing it just a hair bit, and that'll cause the kicker to go ahead and cook that football. We still have a 2-score game on our hands here at Kahok Stadium with 5:18 left in the 4th quarter.
I just did a soccer game Tuesday at Belleville East, and I don't remember seeing a kid named Maxim on their roster, so apparently he's got the leg and he just wants to play football and not soccer.
Well, he certainly has the – what does it say? What year is he, Todd, over there?
Oh, number 90? No. Yeah. Number 90. He is a sophomore.
sophomore. Wow.
Yeah.
That young man certainly could have a career ahead of him.
Sure could. He's got a strong leg. We know that. He just needs to work on the accuracy, and then I think he'll be okay. At any rate, Collinsville gets the ball back in fine fashion, and just look for a steady diet of runs here by Collinsville as they look to run this clock down. It's at 5 minutes and 10 seconds right now. And second down coming up here for the Kahawks. Lancers keeping those 3 timeouts in their side pocket right now. I guarantee if they get another stop like that, they'll use one here.
Yeah, and Kahawks are still going to have to get 2 to 3 first downs to seal this game, especially with the Lancers having 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
Play clock is down to 9 as Chai comes back over. Going to have to hurry up, down to 4, 3, 2, 1. Snap. Just got it off. Chai's going to keep it and run it up the middle, but Raquan Ramsey took care of any kind of forward progress that Chai was going to have there. And now, as I mentioned, another no-gain play, and Lancers will indeed call a timeout. It's been a fun game.
It has been a fun game, and I do like the conservative nature of what's going on. I'm just concerned that it's a little too early to be playing the clock game solely. You know, I think we still need to be getting at least, like I said, 2 to 3 first downs, certainly 1 or 2. You do make Belleville go ahead and burn that timeout, but, you know, if all of a sudden you have to punt with 4 minutes left, there you go. If all of a sudden you have to punt with 4 minutes left, there is plenty of time for the Lancers to score twice. So look for a coach to dial up a play. We're going to keep the ball on the ground, but if we can break one in space and get at least one more first down, I'm going to feel a heck of a lot better about this homecoming football game.
Oh, yeah, you and me both, buddy. You and me both. You also don't want to throw an interception.
No.
That's the last thing you want to do.
You're going to keep the ball on the ground here, you would think.
I would.
Throw a quick pass out to Holton. But
3rd and 10, yeah, one of these sideline passes. But nope, they're going to give it to Chai, and he's going to keep it. And he's going to barrel across the line of scrimmage for the only positive yardage here of the first 3 plays of this series. And it's going to bring up a 4th down and about 4 to go for a first down here for Collinsville.
Well, you know, that's where Coach Popovich's sort of unconventional nature comes in handy, because we had 3 wideouts to the left, and we had to, you know, Belleville had to keep us honest. They couldn't stack the box there, and that freed up the middle of the field for Chai. Now all of a sudden 4th and 5 or 4 is a whole lot different, you know, than 4th and 10 or 11.
Well, the Lancers use another timeout, and they are down to 1.
Hey, big thanks to Camden McCluskey and Lily Cuddyback for running the camera here for us in the second half.
Nice job, ladies.
They're going to call it a 4th and 3. Chai's deep. Looks like we're going to punt the football.
We are.
Smart move.
There's the snap. Chai punts it. Gets it high.
Still
not very deep, but
back.
nobody back again for Belleville East. And that ball is going to roll all the way back to the 30-yard line. You want to come in and run my camera for a minute?
Incredible.
It's a little bit warmer.
Incredible, knowing that Collinsville Kahawks are going to punt the football. Belleville East has to have 2 scores, and they don't put anybody back to try for a return.
And that's the second time they've done that.
That is unbelievable.
Just move the camera back and forth. Follow the play there, dear. Brianna Welland, everybody. Yeah, Brianna Welland. She was a little chilly and wanted to know if it was warmer in here, so. Dr. McCluskey over there talking to my new camera girl. Here you go. Here is Waller throwing the ball, and he has a man open, and the man,
stayed in bounds.
Harris Hempel, catches the ball and stays in bounds.
Nice tackle. Clock continues to roll. There's 4 minutes left.
So the Lancers, I don't know, man. The second time they didn't send anybody back for a punt, and it really cost them a lot of yards here as that ball took another Collinsville roll. Here is Welland throwing over on the far side, has a man open, and again, that is going to be Harris Hempel this side. That side, Harris Hempel catches it on either side.
He sure does. I tell you what, I'm still just blown away by them not having a man back.
I know,
to
twice
run
now.
That ball, that's incredible.
I don't know if they're doing that on purpose or if they're just not paying attention to what down it is. But
it's almost unexplainable.
Yeah.
You know, to be playing at the football at this level, Southwest Conference football, varsity level, I mean, that's something you expect to see in a junior high football game.
Harris Hemphill ran out of bounds, stops the clock with 3:42 left here in this fourth quarter. Fresh set of downs for the Lancers. 1st and 10. Waller rolls out to his right, looks and throws it. Almost picked off again by
number 2.
Trey Anderson, man. I tell you what, Trey Anderson could have had himself 2 interceptions in this game.
They got to quit hitting him in the hands with the football.
I know, huh? Maybe if it bounces off of a helmet and then gets kicked off of somebody's heel. And, yeah, there you go.
Our camera girl's wearing the 33 jersey, and she's up here giving her guy a little bit of a hard time, but that's okay.
That camera girl next to you, you're going to get used to her name, Brianna Wellen. She'll be a softball superstar.
Well, you know, Coach Brett Swip has done a lot with that program, and a lot of exciting things happening in Kahok sports.
Sure is.
You know, volleyball program, softball program, baseball program, football, basketball is going to be incredible this year.
Here's the snap.
Going back
Waller
to the air.
Back to throw it.
Boy.
He's got a man open, and
boy.
over the shoulder, Flagger is going to go all the way in for a 40-yard touchdown.
Drew Barber just let the receiver get behind him. They caught him sleeping. He's played so well all day long, and he knows it. He's, you know, gosh darn it, you know. But, hey, Drew's played so well all day long, and nobody can expect to hold up. And what I love to see is his teammates are out there giving him a high five, you know, telling him, hey, it's okay, buddy. You played great all night. Pick it up. We're going to get this stop and bring this baby home.
28-25, 3-point lead for Collinsville. Extra point coming up here from Maxim can make it a 2-point game. And now if you're the Lancers, do you even think about trying an onside kick? Let's do the extra point here. First, different holder this time. They brought out Maui, the backup quarterback, to hold it. And another bad snap, and that kick is on the way, but this one is through. So with 3:28 left to play here in this fourth quarter, the Lancers have gotten back to within 2 points of the Kahawks.
Well, this is where that conservative nature on the last series kind of comes in. You start playing a clock game at 4.5, all of a sudden, you know, it's still at 3.5. I don't think you try an onside kick if you're the Lancers. I think you kick it deep. You try to stuff Collinsville short, and then you try to come back with especially they're only down 2. And they've got a field goal kicker who can kick 35, 40-yard field goals, right?
Right.
So I think
he's missed a couple of those.
Well, but he's got the leg.
You know he does.
He's got the leg. And so I think what you're going to see is you're going to see them kick the ball deep. Collinsville Kahawks are going to have to get at least 1 first down, if I'm doing the math correctly.
Well, they have to get 1 first down, and they have to force the Lancers to use that last timeout at some point, too. So if you go for a run on the very first play and it doesn't get very far, Lancers are going to burn that timeout. Then you maybe go through the air, pick up that first down. They can't stop the clock anymore. At any rate, we'll find out here soon. We'll first find out how they want to handle this kickoff because Maxim's got that leg, although that's the one thing we have not seen from him tonight. We have not seen him kick it into the end zone. We have not seen any touchbacks. Maxim ready to go, and Collinsville's looking like they're ready for an onside kick, but not going to happen.
No way.
And Maxim is hoping that ball rolls into the end zone, but it doesn't.
Baby, get to the edge.
As
get to the edge.
Picked up by Sloan. He has it at the 10-yard line. He gets slammed down, man.
Well, that was a nice open field tackle by the Belleville East Lancer defense. Now, we said it earlier, right? This game is going to sit on the shoulders of the Collinsville Kahawk offense. We need at least 1 first down, I believe, to seal this game. So let's see what Coach Popovich and Chris Chai have dialed up and see if we can bring this homecoming game to a close here with a Collinsville Kahawk victory.
3:21 left to play here in this fourth quarter. As my esteemed colleague, Dr. Chris McCluskey, mentioned, it's all on the shoulders of the offense now. Here is Chris Chai in shotgun. Neighbors and Williams are his running backs, and the handoff goes to Williams, and I don't think he got very far. Matter of fact, it's going to be a big loss on the play. Loss of about 4.
They are not calling a timeout.
I thought they would, especially after a loss on the play. Clock now at 3 minutes and counting. Play clock down to 15 seconds, and you know Collinsville will use all of that 15 seconds. But they really, really need a first down. Kahoks have one timeout left themselves. Here's the snap.
False start they missed.
And a ball that was incomplete to Jake Holton on a sideline pass, and that stops the clock with 2:41 left to play here in this fourth quarter.
I mean, you play a clock game for 2 minutes, and then we put the ball in the air when they did not burn their timeout. Very confusing on the strategy here for the Kahok offense. The bottom line is our offensive line has to hold. We've got one down to get 12 or 13 yards.
Yes.
Cross your fingers.
I feel
folks.
you.
Cross your fingers.
Chai, empty backfield. He's going to roll out to his left-hand side. Throws on the run, has a man open, and it's a first down by number 2, Ron Woods.
Ron Woods comes up huge. Chris Chai rolls out to the left, throws the ball a little short, and Ron Woods' closing speed is really what made that play. Okay, so there's our first down, okay?
Lancers still haven't used that timeout, though. And I would imagine that they're going to have to use it here pretty soon.
Now they're going to have to.
2.5 minutes left to go. Clock runs after the chains have been set down after the first down play. And the play clock down to 15. So we're going to be close to 2 minutes by the time that the snap takes place.
Now we got to go.
5 seconds down the play clock. Handoff is going to go
to the edge.
to Neighbors. Neighbors stops, puts on the brakes, sets it right up north and south, gets to the 35-yard line, and now the Lancers will use their final timeout.
Very, very good play call on this series, without a doubt. Collinsville's offensive line holds up. We get our speed out in the edge into space, and one more first down will seal this.
Yep, we only need to get about 6 yards to get that first down. It can happen at the 41-yard line. If Collinsville can get the ball to that point, then they will just kneel on it for the rest of this game.
Man, how about a 3rd and 13, rolling the quarterback out. This is incredible. What a fun game to watch.
This has been a really fun game.
Wow. And, you know, a lot of pride on the line for both programs. Nobody's going to the playoffs. They're both trying to rebuild a little bit. This win is going to carry, whichever program captures this win, is going to carry all the way into next season.
Well, yeah. All right. 2nd down and 5 to go for Collinsville to get that first down. They'll have a couple of cracks at it here. There's the snap, and the handoff is going to go to Cameron Sloan. And Sloan will not get a first down. But as they unpile the bodies, the clock continues to run. Down to 1:50 left to play. And a gain of about a yard, so it's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 4 to go here for the Kahawks.
You know, Todd, with the way our defense is in playing, we have to have a first down here.
We do need that.
Have to have a first down.
Collinsville has that one timeout left, so they could.
Only 6 on the play clock.
Yeah, they're probably going to use a timeout here, I would imagine.
Timeout, Coach.
Yep. Oh! Timeout. They called it.
Okay, we got it. Good,
yep,
good,
he got
good,
it.
Good.
He was standing right next to the referee on the sideline, and with 1
second
second left, he called that timeout. He said, I told him.
I told him
to call a timeout.
Very smart.
1:23 left to play here in this fourth quarter, so that's what time will be left when the snap takes place here after this timeout. And it'll be 3rd down and about 4 to go for a first down here for Collinsville as the Kahawks try to win on homecoming night, and then next week we'll try to pick up a victory on senior night as the Edwardsville Tigers come into Kahawk Stadium for the final game of the regular season for Collinsville. .123. That's all that's left on the clock. That stands between Collinsville and victory number 3, the first time that Collinsville would have 3 victories in the same season since 2011. 7 years.
Now, just what the doctor ordered for the Collinsville Kahok football program. But we've got one down here to get this first down.
Here's the snap. Chai is going to go back to pass.
Let's go, baby.
He gets
Let's
it to
go,
Sloan.
Baby. We got
Sloan.
it. We got
There's
it.
flags on the play as Sloan
no.
gets it into Lancer territory, and there's laundry all over the field.
The only good news is that play burned a lot of time off of the clock.
Looks like it's going to be holding against the Kahawks, so they'll get third down all over again with 1:14 left on the clock here, unless, of course, the Lancers want to decline it and make it fourth down. But they can't decline it because then it would be a first down because of the play.
Yeah, the only positive to that was that play took a lot of time off the clock. We're down to 1:14. So here we are again at third and
about 12.
Once again.
3rd and 12.
Can Chris Chai pull off another third down miracle to seal this game?
Did it on 3rd and 13. I was surprised they threw the ball, to tell you the truth.
Oh, I was too.
Little dump off pass in the flat, but nevertheless. All right, here's the snap. Clock starts back up again. Here is Ron Woods, and Woods spins out of a tackle and then gets pushed out of bounds. Nope. Yep, they're only going to stop the clock.
He would have been way better off
running the ball.
Just run that ball.
Run the ball up the middle, run the clock, because they cannot stop it, but you let yourself get pushed out of bounds on the sideline, and it stops the clock with 1:09 left to play. Chris Chai is going to have to punt. You know this time they're going to send back a punt returner.
You got that right. Big number 28.
I believe that's Jaden Harris Hemphill, number 26. Here's a snap. Chai punts it. It's high and not very deep at all. It's going to take a Kahawk bounce.
Roughing the kicker, I believe,
they're going to flag on the play in the backfield, and it's going to be a roughing the kicker call on Chris Chai. Wow, man, I tell you what, the Lancers have just really had some untimely penalties here in this game that have really, really hampered their ability to stay in this game, or else they might even have a lead at this point.
Well, and Chris Chai's limping off the field. I mean, he took some big contact. You know, we've been working on an ankle for him all week long, and it makes me a little nervous to see him out there limping, but he's still on the field. He's a tough kid. He's been playing injured a lot of this year. So give him some credit for his strength and fortitude. And I believe it looks like he's going to lead his Kahawks to a victory here.
Well, it's only a 5-yard penalty, so it wasn't enough to give Collinsville the first down. So it's 4th down and 3, and Chris Chai is going to have to kick this all over again.
I bite my tongue. I thought that was going to be an automatic first down.
It wasn't roughing the kicker. It was running into the kicker, so that only comes with a 5-yard penalty.
Got it.
So another punt. Chai gets this one downfield. It's low, and it's going to take a Collinsville roll, and it is finally touched up at about the 33-yard line, and that roll took off some more time off the clock, so we're down to about 53 seconds left. Lancers are going to have a chance here to get it into field goal range unless Collinsville's defense can step it up, and that's exactly what the fans would like as they start to make some noise here at Kahok Stadium.
Well, I don't know if you can hear the rumble in these bleachers, but safeties are going to play, let's see, about 20 yards off the ball.
Here's Waller, low snap. He had to pick it up. He rolls out to his right. He looks to throw. He does so at the 40-yard line, and the player runs out of bounds on a heads-up play there by Jaden Harris Hemphill. That stops the clock with 45.7 seconds left. Both teams have used all of their timeouts.
Yeah, big Dante Williams had pursuit in the backfield. If we get one stop in the backfield here, that would be huge.
Pick up a 9 on up a 2nd down and 1. 45 seconds left to play here in this 4th quarter. Waller stands in shotgun once again.
It's going to be tough for him to keep anybody in bounds.
Fresh set of downs now for the Lancers. Clock stopped with 41.4 seconds left to play here in this 4th quarter.
Look for him to come here to the wide side of the field on a deep ball here, Todd.
Lancers need a field goal to win it. Collinsville needs a stop to keep the victory on their side of the field. Waller's back to pass. He throws, and it's no good. Off of the fingertips of Flagger over on the other side.
True Barber's.
And that stops the clock with 37 seconds left to play here in the 4th quarter.
Slow to get up. It looks like he's trying to shake it off. I don't think he can go, guys.
2nd down and 10.
I don't think he can go.
He's holding on to that right wrist.
I don't know.
Looks like he's going to stay in there.
I think he got one in the midsection is what I think here.
And now the referees want to talk about something.
Man, you got to look at True's he's having trouble moving over there. We've got to
yeah,
recognize that.
They're gonna make him come off.
Yeah,
that's what the referees were talking about. They're making him come off the field.
That's good because somebody's going to run right by him. I mean, he just can't move. Like I said, I think he got one in the midsection, and he needs some time to breathe that off.
Seems like he's kind of holding that right arm down, like the right wrist is bothering him or something. So they bring in Luke Cuddyback to take True Barber's place, and I don't know about you, but when a fresh guy comes in off the bench, that's where I go.
Go right to him.
Yep.
Oh, you got Jake Holton over there to back him up.
Yep, you do.
And that's what's going on, and that's probably where they're going to go.
Here is Waller back
right
to
there.
pass, and he throws it into the ground. 3rd and 10 coming up. 33.2 seconds left here in the 4th.
We got Barber back in the game. I watched him. He did take a shot to the midsection. He just had to catch his breath.
Okay.
And I like having him only off the field for a play because he's been such an asset this game.
He is back out there over on the far side. 3rd down and 10 for Belleville East. They will have at least 2 more plays coming up.
You know, we started off in a real deep dime, and everybody's sucking back up. It makes me a little bit nervous here. You can give up a 1st down here. You just can't get beat.
Here's Waller back to pass.
Here we go.
He looks. He throws down the middle, and it's incomplete again. That pass was intended for Gaines, and it falls in, for Harris Hemphill, and it falls incomplete. So 4th down. One more time. One more stop.
Here go the Kahawks holding their fists in the air for, I believe, the 5th time tonight. I love to see this defense hold their fists in the air. It gives them momentum. It gives them strength. And we had some good penetration. And here comes 33 back on the field.
Yeah.
That's Trey Anderson.
We know who he is now.
We've been calling his name a lot here. Look for some kind of linebacker blitz to force the issue. See if our cover 2 can hold up. This is the ball game right here, Todd.
One more stop, and the victory is Collinsville. As Waller is back to pass. He looks. Now he steps up, and he throws it deep down the far side, and it's over everybody's head. Collinsville will win this one with 9.4 seconds left. All they have to do is kneel on it.
Look at this celebration on the sidelines. Coaches are high-fiving. Players are high-fiving. Boy, this is certainly an awful lot of fun, okay? This is an awful lot of fun, and this is exactly what the Collinsville Kahawk program needed, was a culture shift and a momentum shift, and Coach Popovich has certainly brought both of those back to Collinsville.
19.4 seconds left. I always forget that number 1 is always blocked out by that left upright. So 19.4 seconds left. Still, all you need is 1 knee, and this game will be over.
Stay tuned. Quite the celebration here
victory
at Kahok
formation.
Stadium.
Victory formation for the Kahawks as Chris Chai takes the knee. Final seconds tick off the clock.
And 10 seconds left.
Collinsville Kahawks will pick up win number 3 on the year for the first time since 2011. Nice job, Collinsville Kahawks. Thank you, Brianna Wellen. See you later, dear. I gotta thank all kinds of camera girls up here tonight, don't I? You coming back up?
Of them.
All right. We are going to make our transition now into the Chiropractic Works post-game show. Chiropractic Works, of course, owned and operated by the man next to me, Dr. Chris McCluskey. He and his crew are focused on helping as many people as possible live high-quality lives all through chiropractic care and wellness. You can visit Dr. McCluskey at Chiropractic Works in Collinsville at 410 Regency Center, just off of the Beltline Road. You can give them a call at 343-3602 or online, chiropracticworkscollinsville.com. Joining us now on the post-game show, not wasting any time because he wants to get down there and celebrate with his team, is Zach Bilyeu. Boy, what a big win that was.
Oh, that's huge. Homecoming. A little adversity there a couple weeks in a row. It's a great response by our young men to come out and get this victory tonight for homecoming, for the fans, and for Collinsville.
The play of the game, man. Statue of Liberty play. You broke it out. That was like old school stuff right there, man. Tell me about that play.
Well, you've got three guys on the offensive side, coach-wise, that love triple option. So a little form of Coach Pop's own triple option on the outside. A few pitches. Typically, if you see like a hook and ladder, stuff like that, teams see one pitch and then they come up pretty hard. And we were kind of hoping that they would. So that second pitch, Malcolm was gone. We've had trouble with the play in practice, so we're a little nervous. But we said if it's never hit, it's bound to hit in the game. So we lucked out.
Well, and you did that right after Belleville East had an injury timeout. So you guys, did you talk about it before that play happened, or did you talk about it during the injury timeout?
Coach Pop and I have talked about it a little bit throughout the week, and times when we wanted to do it. And we thought typically when a team has an injury, there's a lull for a play. So it was kind of a spot in a timeout, injury, something when the guys may not be focused on the other side of the ball. You can kind of hit them on those plays. We thought that might be a good spot. Coach Pop made the perfect call, and we ended up executing it very well.
Defensively, I want to call it a couple of guys. Number 8, Dante Williams, had a whale of a game.
Oh, he's been killing it. The growth of that young man. I coached him as a freshman basketball player, and just him as a person and now a football player, it's outstanding. He's a captain for us now. And if you'd have told me that when he was a freshman that he'd be a captain his junior year, I don't know if I would have believed you. The strides he's made, I mean, it's all converting. Everything he's doing in the classroom, everything he's doing in life is converting to the football field. He has been a great leader for us, and he's killing it. Just had a great game.
Second man, Quilling, number 51. You did not have him on the team at the beginning of the year. He turned things around. You guys put him back on the team, and I bet you're glad you did now because he made a couple of great plays out there.
Well, so he actually was here. I had him as a freshman, and I think as a sophomore as well. And then he had to transfer. His parents had moved, and then he came back, and he didn't know if he could play because he wasn't here for the summer. So we saw him a week or two into the school year, and like, hey, like you just have to have so many. So he had to have so many practices once school started because he didn't have the summertime. So that's why we didn't see him at the beginning. He's a fun kid. He loves to work, and it's funny. He's put on some LBs, which we tease each other about quite a bit because I probably have as well since he's seen me last. And he made it. He was a running back for us and a linebacker, making that change. We talked to him the first week of school when he was back. We asked him, "Are you comfortable with being on the D line?" He said, "Coach, I'll play wherever you want me." And it's really the past couple weeks transitioned well for him.
All right, Chris Jai, your quarterback, had a pretty good game, 17 for 28, 157 yards and a couple of touchdowns.
Maybe it just needed to get cold for him.
I guess.
I think maybe the weather and his focus has just been outstanding this week. And, going from one scheme that he's been in, like we've talked about before, that he's been through a lot of different systems in his life and learning it, and you kind of see where that transition's starting to happen now. He's starting to really know the reads and what we're trying to do with him, and just tremendous ball game. He had everyone under control. Malcolm had a few drops in the beginning of the game, and he was the first guy over to talk to Malcolm to keep him in it. I don't know if that's something he does last year, and it's just outstanding to see stuff like that. And again, it's another thing that these kids are starting to buy in, that everything they do translates. And he's on the field and he's starting to command kids and tell them where to go. And when he's that confident, he slings a really nice ball, and you can see that confidence really starting to show because when he's throwing it and he's out there slinging it, you're starting to see the Chris Try that we know is coming. So it's really exciting. One more game this year with them, and then having a full off season with them in this program, and we're really excited to keep moving forward with Chris.
Did you send Belleville East a tape of you guys not using Cameron Sloan as the kick returner? Because the last 3 weeks, teams stayed away from him. Belleville East did not, and Cameron Sloan had a great night on returns.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you see it like we're on our third kicker again, so you never know what's going on their sideline. I wouldn't kick to him.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to give other teams a game plan against us, but something I think we're starting to show too to other teams, at least especially at the lower levels. We've got a stable of running backs, and we put them all on kickoff return. So if you don't kick to Cam, you're kind of picking your poison, because I think you're going to start to see when teams do kick to other guys, they're going to start showing out too.
Yeah, Green and Williams, they'll take it.
Absolutely. So we've got some guys. I mean, it's kind of one of those pick your poison things. Like, some kickers like kicking to the right or kicking to the left. So that's why we have Cam where he is, because typically they kick to that side. A lot of teams. So they kind of pick their poison, and a lot of teams are, which I give them credit for. We're going to do what we do, and if you beat us on it, then good for you. And I think that's kind of the way Belleville at least looked at it. And we had some great blocking downfield, and we were able to pull a few off. And Cam, he's lightning out there. Once he gets a seam, he takes it, which we love, and he just sticks that foot and gets upfield. So he had a really, really good night.
Well, it was really fun for us to do the game. It was really fun for the fans to watch the game. Was it fun to coach?
No, it was stressful. I would prefer we don't get knocked out of bounds with a minute left. I would prefer we make a few of the picks, but the fact that we're in those spots and we're competing and we're in spots that we haven't been in, it's exciting stuff. I can be excited now that my heart has come back to normal beats.
And now Trey Anderson feels a lot better because he had 2 sure picks thrown right to him.
It's tough, and it's always tough as a player too when they score after.
Yeah.
And then it comes to this, and you're like, oh, they could kick a field goal, but he's in the right spot.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting to the point where we can look at film and say, hey, you're in the right spot, just catch the ball. I mean, it's easy for coaches to say, hey, kid, catch the ball, but he. Our linebackers have been one of the things that, as an offensive and defensive guy, like on the offensive side, I would pick on our linebackers because at the beginning of the season, we didn't necessarily play as well because, again, new to the system and just not really confident in ourselves. He was in the exact right spot that many times, and that's awesome. He's going to make those plays. I mean, I get out there when we're doing our linebacker drills, and I gun the balls at them, and they catch the football. And it just happened to be one of those nights, a little cold, not quite used to it. You're a linebacker. They always say that's why people are on the defensive side of the ball because they have trouble catching. So, but that's a play we trust him to make. And I mean, that still gets to the quarterback's head. When you throw it to a purple jersey and he's standing there, whether he catches it or not, that's something the quarterback's thinking about. And if you notice the last drive, they didn't come to his side at all. They didn't try that boot, which to me, if you take that quarterback out of being able to boot, that's a huge thing. So he may not have made the interceptions, but I think that his play kind of dictated their last drive, which just ended up being a lot of verts, which we were prepared for. So that helped us out a lot.
All right, go enjoy the rest of the night with your team. We'll see you next week versus Edwardsville. Good win, guys.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you. That is assistant coach Zach Bilyeu of your Collinsville Kahawks as the Kahawks are victorious here tonight by a final score of 28-26. We are going to take a break here on the Chiropractic Works post-game show. When we come back, we'll look at the final numbers for you as Collinsville pulls out victory number 3 here tonight, 28-26. Back in just a moment on the Kahawk Sports Network.
Hey guys, I'm Dr. Chris McCluskey, and I'm excited to be here talking to you about one of our favorite products that we offer to the practice members in our office. It's called Rico's Bioenergy Band. Now, over the last 15 years that I've been in health and wellness, we've been blessed to grow one of the busiest pediatric and family wellness centers in the United States, where we've helped tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of people. So today we're going to talk about Rico's Bioenergy Bands. It's a simple band that you wear around your wrist or your ankle. We even have dog bands. What the Bioenergy Band does, it helps you live a higher quality of life, which is exactly what my purpose in life is to help as many people live as high quality of life for as long as possible. So we're going to introduce to you Rico, the band, the science and technology. We're going to perform a test for y'all to show you how the product works.
I'm Rico with Rico's Bioenergy. I created Rico's Bioenergy wristbands. We've been around for around 7 years, and this company has grown to a $20 million company because we have a great product and it works.
Sloan's Pub House in Collinsville. Sloan's Pub House is now into their 2nd year of operation on Main Street in Uptown Collinsville. Sloan's Pub House offers daily lunch and dinner specials that feature homemade pizza, burgers, sandwiches, salads, and more. Sloan's Pub House offers a great variety of craft libations for you adults, as well as a great brunch on Saturdays and Sundays. Sloan's Pub House, 119 West Main Street in Collinsville. Call 855-9100 or online, sloanspubhouse.com.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future, to create your inheritance, to build your vision, to anticipate the known and unknown, and to find potential in both, and build new dawns. Visionary Wealth Advisors.
Back at Kahok Stadium. Kahawks win tonight on homecoming night, 28-26. Let's take a look at some of the final stats that we have for you. We begin with Belleville East as Jeremy Schooler, Keenan Waller actually led the way in the running department. He carried the ball 14 times for 115 yards. Jeremy Schooler carried the ball 10 times for 74 yards, and a couple of touchdowns. Jaden Harris Hemphill carried the ball 4 times for 88 yards, including another touchdown, as Keenan Waller through the air ended up going 10 of 24 for 151 yards. He did throw a touchdown and also lost a fumble, and the majority of the passes went to Jaden Harris Hemphill, who had 8 catches for 71 yards, and Johannes Flagger had 4 catches for 92 yards. And the big thing for Belleville East was they were penalized 9 times for 85 yards, and a few of them were very, very hurtful penalties. One took a touchdown away. For Collinsville, Jaden Neighbors led the way on the ground. He had 25 carries for 123 yards. He had a touchdown and 2 two-point conversions. Kyler Williams ran the ball 9 times for 31 yards. Chris Chai still ended up minus 10 after carrying the ball 6 times. And Malcolm Burns had that 1 touchdown run of 13 yards. And then we go to Chris Chai, who ended up going, as I mentioned earlier, 17 of 28 for 157 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Both touchdowns went to Ron Woods, except for the hook and ladder Statue of Liberty play that Malcolm Burns ended up scoring. So Woods ended up catching 8 passes for 81 yards and those couple of touchdowns. Jake Holton had 3 catches for 25 yards. Malcolm Burns, 3 catches for 11. And Cameron Sloan had a couple of catches for 34 yards. And Collinsville was penalized 8 times for 70 yards total. So, next Friday becomes the final game of the year. It's going to be senior night. Edwardsville Tigers are in town here at Kahok Stadium, and we'll be on the air around 6:40 again with the pregame show. Until then, we have playoff soccer coming your way on Tuesday. That is a 5 p.m. start against Granite City in the regional semifinal opener here in the Collinsville Regionals. And we'll be on the air around 4:40 with the pregame show for that one on Tuesday. Thanks to all involved. Chris McCluskey, who took care of us on the color commentator side of things. We had Brianna Wellen in here taking care of the camera work at the 4th quarter, and plus Dr. McCluskey's daughter and somebody else's daughter, and I don't know who else all helped us out, but thanks to all of them. And until Tuesday night, my name is Todd Duke. Everyone, have yourselves a fantastic weekend.